Goodbye, sir.
All right, mic check, mic check.
My mic is nice.
Check one. Your mic's now nice. Check two. All right, checking the microphones. Sound like I'm live. And close that out. And restart that. All right. Greetings, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Let's see. What do we have on our today's agenda to end up talking about today? Num. All right, so I got on today's agenda a submarine, SpaceX, 5G, more 5G, wireless charging, Microsoft on everything, McDonald's, Intel, T-Mobile, more cell phone company stuff. Depends on the flow or what direction I decide to go in. And a little more electric vehicles, probably towards the end. Especially a controversial one that I've been having between me and No Radio. New information's come out talking about it, so he might pop in. Let's see. Hello.
Yo, yo.
Yo, yo.
Yo. What's happening?
What's happening?
Salutations.
Salutations.
Salutations, my brother.
What's going on? Who's this? Don't know who that is. I don't know how you got in. All right, so let's see. Speed Tech.
What up?
What's up, sir?
Not much.
What's going on?
Just got home. Went up a mountain walking.
You went up a mountain? What mountain's in Georgia?
It's not like a big mountain, but it's like Stone Mountain.
What mountains are in Georgia? Georgia.
Several.
Well, let's see. You might be a good candidate to talk about this first story. Let me first get the today's news or this week's news out of the way real quick, and then I'm gonna talk to you about cellular too. So,
All right.
Hey, do you remember what happened a year ago with the sub that imploded?
Oh my God. What's going on with it?
Oh
Well,
man.
what happened with it? What happened with the sub with the toy controller from an Xbox?
Hey man, it looked like a PlayStation controller almost.
PlayStation. I don't even know what that was, but it was a controller from a game console. Yeah, asked for it.
But let's see. The Titan submersible scientific director says it malfunctioned just before the Titanic dive. So basically, we're over a year in, and they're doing the investigations, they're doing their hearings. They found the wreckage at the bottom of the ocean. Let's just say it didn't look good. It actually crushed the way a lot of people said it would end up crushing, and it looks terrible. Every YouTuber is talking about it, like going into like a deep dive and doing a lot of analysis about it. And one of the things I discovered, like when technology goes wrong, come to find out all the shortcuts this company took technology wise. That was the biggest thing. All the shortcuts that went down. It's difficult to really say, like, could it have made it down? There's different tests that you should take. If you're curious about submarines and how they go through rigorous testing, a lot of them never really decided to want to do a carbon fiber hull because it hasn't really been proven tested. It's one of those things where a lot more testing, a lot more information needs to be done about it, and they didn't feel that it was up to snuff yet about with it. So, what is it? James Cameron is a famous filmer. He does, he made those movies. The movie quote unquote the Titanic. He actually took submarines down, and he built a submarine to go to like the deepest depths of the ocean. And when I say he built one completely from scratch and got it all certified and everything just to be able to go like miles and miles deep. The problem is the person who came up with this sub, and I don't have to go too deep into it. It's just one of those points where when technology goes wrong and we have technology that proves whether or not something is viable and we don't end up using it. So the director, one of the scientific directors that worked for the company, even said that he wouldn't go down in that thing. So that tells you, if your scientific director says he wouldn't go down in this, yeah, you might want to start listening to the people. So I encourage anybody who's curious about the this and the story behind it. It enveloped YouTube for like weeks. Everybody did a video on it, and it was interesting for a while, but then everybody was kind of regurgitating a lot of the same videos that was surfacing. What's going on, Jim? It's old news, yes, but new news. The fact that the hearings are coming about and they're finding out whether or not what happened, what caused the problem, what, like, looking at the wreckage itself, you could tell that it imploded from I guess what they said, where the carbon fiber met the titanium rings. A lot of people on YouTube said it imploded from the center, but looking at the wreckage, everybody says now that it imploded from the mating of the titanium ring to the carbon fiber body. So that's the reason why this wreckage looks the way it does, which is it looked like it crushed in towards one side. So let's see. Jim says I held. Let's see. It was held on by a paper mustache. Dang, that's messed up, man. But hey, look, I wanted to find out more information about it. A couple of reputable YouTubers that I follow came back and started doing some talks about it. 2-Bit Da Vinci, and then I think another guy called Scott Manley. He does some deep dives on some science stuff and was talking about how a lot of people's renditions showed it imploding from the center instead of from the edges. So if you are curious about it, I recommend those two YouTubers. They do a very good analysis about what happened, what type of information is out there, different things like that. So, oh, paper mache. My apologies, sir. My apologies. Paper mache. Let's see. Let's see here. All right. So, hey, Speed Tech, you still there, sir?
Yep, I'm live.
All right. So this one is more in your wheelhouse.
What are we looking at?
With the you have Visible, right?
Yeah. I had it.
You had it. What happened?
Hopped onto Total Wireless.
You went to Total?
Yep. But I mean, it just recently got canceled. It didn't really. I don't have much time from it. Actually being or not using it. So.
Ooh. See. Here's my question, right? As of late, I think a lot of people are starting to give up on the major carriers.
Yep.
And my question is are we too hesitant? Are we moving too fast? Are we looking to get away from the major carriers too quickly?
I mean, with these promotions that they're releasing, I would see that most people would switch though. Like they're not releasing any promotions on the actual postpaid side. So I mean, you're pushing people either way to go to the prepaid side, no matter what way you think about it. I mean, you got Visible doing a month
but one of the questions I've always had was like, okay, if you leave like the major carrier, you obviously you got the three major ones. If you want to add in Dish, that's your cup of tea. Dish is not there yet. They still primarily roam on AT&T, depending on where you are.
No.
I think they still roam on T-Mobile also. So it just depends on what part of the nation you're in that it might have a better coverage footprint. But I found this article on Android Police. Says 6 reasons I'm sticking with the postpaid carrier over MVNO. So I know that you're new to the driving world, so all your money's going into gas right now.
Yep.
But my question to you is this, sir, is do you see yourself going back to a major carrier, or are you going to stick with the MVNOs?
It's hard because I mean, obviously, if you're looking for the cheaper side, you would go directly for prepaid. But if you want the better deals on the phone, if you upgrade a lot, it's worth it for you to go to an expensive plan on the postpaid side. But it will depend on the deal also, because I mean, you probably would be saving money either way on the wireless side, but maybe not on the phone if you're on prepaid. But in the end, it all comes down to calculations and seeing which one's actually cheaper and which one actually benefits you the most.
So are you saying that if you're a phone hopper, it's best for you to stay on the carriers?
If you're a phone hopper, I would say you should probably just stay on the carriers if you want to really trade in your phone a lot.
Huh. Oh, Mr. No Radio Snuck in the building.
What up? What up? What up?
What up, man? Are you on the Duck Fellas today?
I am not on the Duck Fellas today, sir. How are you?
Man, you got a black screen. I was like, yo, you must have turned off the light. It was like the Duck Feathers shall envelop me.
Sometimes darkness is exactly what the doctor prescribed. You dig?
Ah,
Yeah.
darknesses.
That's how we gotta do it sometimes. You dig?
I did. What about you, sir? I know that last week we were talking about you jumping ship, sir.
Off of whose ship? Off of Verizon ship.
Off a rising ship. Like, you was ready to scuttle that boat.
Verizon doesn't have a ship. Verizon has an imaginary underground railroad to prosperity. But when you got the other side, the slave catchers is waiting on you.
Oh Lord. So you saying you're not getting away?
No, I'm getting away. I'm just saying. You said jumping ship as if I was on one to begin with.
Oh.
See, you know I'm gonna come with an alternative to the regular.
I know. Well, no, I'm just saying, like, this is more for the people. Like, we're starting to see that Verizon has pissed off enough.
So people don't be dedicated to any of these companies because they are not dedicated to you. If your feelings get hurt by something one of these companies do, you're the problem for thinking you were special to begin with.
Well, I'm not special.
No, sir. You are.
I'm not special.
I don't care
My mama told me I'm special.
I don't care how many magenta feathers you wear. You will never get special from Mark T-Vert.
Oh. Look, man. Hey, look, I'm just saying that, for the most part, I think that if you're a phone hopper, it's best for you to stay on the MVNO. That means that you gotta have the next phone, maybe not every year, but every other year. Primarily, I think maybe a lot of people are going 3 years before upgrading, which technically speaking, you can go 3 years and still have a very good experience with your phone. I don't think that your phone is going to age like, bad, goat cheese as soon as you get it. No matter if you choose an iPhone or an Android phone.
No, I mean, to be honest with you, man, most of us, we have phones that we got because we think they're cool, not because we actually need half of the 0.009 of improvement we get each year. So, I mean, that's
true.
Let's just be real with ourselves and put some thought into that. But it is what it is.
I mean, look. Some of the reasons they go through here, and I'm gonna scroll down to them. Number 6, truly unlimited priority data. So this one's a touchy subject because a lot of people might not know that you get throttled regardless if you're on premium and or MVNO, depending on the plan.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I have Magenta Max on my lines, and then I have AT&T's version of Magenta Max, which is supposed to be their ultimate or whatever unlimited. It's difficult to say, but I did Verizon's older plan, which they're probably going to try to force me to upgrade, which is, what is it called? The Get More. Well, it's supposed to be their higher plan that they had from their previous session. Was it Get More or Do More? Which one is it? It's probably Get More.
Well, Get More is an older. Get More and Do More were out at the same time, actually.
Right.
Do More, Play More. Those are the older plans from a while back.
Right. So, I mean, now here's the thing. I discovered that now AT&T's data is laggy. So, like, as me being an Uber driver, everything's about being quick. Obviously, Uber puts us into what I call the hurry up and wait syndrome. So you're hurry up and waiting for a trip that may or may not come, and then come to find out AT&T is lagging behind everybody else. So I being on Verizon or T-Mobile is faster than me being on AT&T. That is a nice little nugget for all those people who are on AT&T doing Uber. You might want to check in on that. But priority data, the speed caps are a lot lower on MVNOs. On the major carriers, they're higher, but not as enforced certain times. So it really depends on which carrier you're on. Better access to international features. So if you're an international person, you get better features on international. I think Verizon just upgraded their international plan just recently, so it's built into the bill. They had to do something because everybody keeps leaving them. Let's see. More robust security features. Unless you're the type of person that's walking around giving your phone number out to people, I don't see this one being too much of a problem. Get better deals on phones. We just said that. And save when you bundle home and mobile internet. So if you are a person who's has the home internet offering from the 3 different carriers, you get a better bundle staying with them. And this one's kind of important. So store and in-person support. So, me, speed tech, no radio. We are going to be more inclined to kind of fix it ourselves. We can troubleshoot some things, but the everyday person who end up on US Mobile is going to be less inclined to want to switch to an MVNO when there's not much support. What happens when there's the data goes out or there's something funky that happens with their phone? Who does that person have to go talk to? If your phone is not working and you can't call customer service on a phone that's not working. So it makes it kind of I call a shaky ground per se. So if you want more reliability, then staying with a primary carrier would be, you're one of your top choices. What about you, Speed Tech? Do you see yourself migrating over, or are you going to end up sticking with you're going to run the MVNO gauntlet? He's on mute. What about you, No Radio? I know you say you're getting ready to move.
I've been telling you guys for years that these carriers get out of hand, I'm gonna just become a network whore. We already knew this. I'm gonna just sell myself to the highest bidder.
Oh Lord!
Every chance I get, and I'm gonna put my family on a lower option, and I'm just run around in these streets with these networks.
Oh
yeah, I'm gonna be for the streets when it comes to these networks.
For the streets.
Yeah. Like I said, the network ain't for me. Why should I be dedicated or showing any kind of loyalty to any of them? A complete waste of effort, energy, and care.
Well, look, I just want to, be more informative. Let the customer know they got some options out there. That's just me. I mean, I know how mean you are, but everybody doesn't, roll the same way. Some people like the idea of their phone, if it breaks, that they have insurance on it. You know what I mean?
But you can get insurance directly through the manufacturer. Who cares about the carrier? And see, there was a time when the carrier insurance used to be the better option, because back in the day, you could walk into the store and you would get immediate service. That no longer exists when it comes to the carriers. You end up going to this third-party company who wants you to freaking mail a device off to receive one back.
That's true, but I mean, they're kind of all of them doing that now. I mean, they send you a
No,
package saying that, hey,
no. If you get insurance directly through, say, Apple,
oh
go
man, you
to
can
the
go to
Apple
the
store.
store and drop it off. Yeah,
That is my point. Same thing with if you have the insurance through Samsung and you have an iFixit near you, you just walk into iFixit. You don't mail your phone to Texas and wait to get a phone back, is what I'm saying. You break your screen and you have the insurance, you go to an iFixit and you get your phone fixed the same day. Set up an appointment, and sometimes you can usually get appointments same day. So once again, the carriers suck at this.
yeah.
So the carriers
They're
just
doing it the
not.
lowest. They're doing it at the lowest common denominator they can
Yeah,
do it
but
at.
they charge the highest price compared to every other form of insurance.
That's true.
The
That's true
carrier's
too.
insurance is higher and worse. It's like they're begging you not to get their insurance, basically.
Please don't choose us, please.
Yeah, so no, screw the carriers, screw Assurion. And if you have not thought enough about it, like here's my problem, right? You got people out here walking around with phones that are $200 brand new, and they're paying $18 more for insurance on them.
Oh no.
These people are keeping these phones like 3 years and then showing up to the carrier after the phone's 3 years old and still end up paying the freaking $100 deductible. Come on, bruh.
Oh no, that's crazy.
I've seen it.
That's
It's mostly
crazy.
elderly people. I had an elderly
Because, you
gentleman
know-
with like he had like a Samsung A10 and broke the screen. Homeboy's paying like $18 a month for insurance or something like that.
That's because they know they can get away with it. Look,
That
understand
is
this.
the reason
The
why.
nickel and diamond of people is what companies do. I mean, like,
So,
look, you know that
screw these
AOL
companies is
still,
the moral of the story. Screw these companies. Screw the carriers. They don't care
you know
about
that
us.
AOL still gets money from people from dial-up. You know that, right?
You
Oh.
and your mess.
Oh, hey, is that the album art, sir?
No, sir. That is just a little picture. What I've noticed is that I don't know if you noticed this, but like Meat likes to make everything in reverse.
You said it meet everything's
Yeah,
in reverse.
look at it. It's backwards. Look at it.
No, on mine it's showing forward.
Well, mine is literally backwards. That you can't. It's so the lettering is forward for you.
Yes.
Yeah, Meat needs to fix that. It's retarded.
It's fun.
Oh, I agree.
So it's showing you guys correctly. It shows me backwards.
You have to, you know what it is? You have to have a plug-in that flips it.
Yeah, but then that defeats the purpose. Because then what is it going to be? Backwards for you now? See what I'm saying?
No. It flips it only on the UI screen for you.
That's so dumb. Google.
But see, for me, it shows it forward.
Yeah, Google sucks. Google, get your life together.
But no, hey, look, man. What I'm saying is the whole problem is that companies find this little way of trying to live inside of your wallet that they all just think about. Like that's all they do. So what can we do today that we can live inside of that person's wallet? Subscriptions is the new thing, right?
This is all the more reason why we need to live inside their bankruptcy and not give them our money.
That's true. That's true.
I hope all major cell carriers go out of business in 5 years. I said it.
Dang, man.
And they need to they just need to let the MVNOs take over at this point. I'm sorry, bro, but we get to the point where the MVNOs are literally better than the carriers. They're even getting priority data plans that are higher than carrier plans at lower prices. It's ridiculous.
That's one of the things I find very weird, especially
You
with
can get
what we're seeing.
Priority on a third party MVNO, but in-house Verizon Welcome costs more. Explain that.
That's crazy.
This is what I'm talking about. It's like they want to stop dealing with us. They're begging us to leave the house. That's what I'm saying.
Hey, look, I just don't understand. Like even with me, like I don't even buy my phones through the carriers no more. I buy them either I get them on eBay because I need a couple of them, or I buy it directly from Samsung, right? Or I'll go directly to Apple and buy it because I don't want to deal with the whole unlocking thing, which that's the next story about unlocked phones. I don't want to keep dealing with like, oh, well, we can't unlock this phone because that phone is more prone for everybody really wanting. So you might leave us. I don't want to deal with that. If I want to leave you, I'm going to leave you. I don't care. And then I'm at a point now, like, is it worth it? I've been requested more to do more MVNO comparisons. So, I mean, more people want to know how it performs. More people want to know how it performs. So that's the thing. Let's see. Jim says Verizon will be the first carrier to become 100% wholesale.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
what
know.
I'm saying.
I can see that. They're not trying to hold on to people.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
But do you think that something bigger is coming down the pipeline then?
No.
Why would you dump people off?
Listen, Keon, you always do this, right? You have like this like bright green outlook of something better coming, and it never shows up. Yet you keep praying for it. Like at some point, bro, you got to just realize like it's over. It's over, bro. Just like the EVs, it's over, bro.
Oh, come on, man. It's not over.
Bro, we're not going to see any major jumps in EVs for at least 10 more years. It's over.
Let's see.
Over for a long time, bro.
I kind of agree with you with the technology wise,
and then with these
but there's a lot.
These cell phones are not getting much better. They're boring. It's over. You know how we had a golden era in hip hop?
Yeah,
we had a golden era in cell phones too, bro. It's over.
We've hit peak iPhone.
Like in the cell phone land, we're literally living in 1998. It's the end.
God!
Like if we look at like if we compare it to hip hop, we're in the 1998 of cell phones right now, dog.
Oh well, look, Apple's UI is still stuck in 2007.
I mean, to a certain extent, this is true, right? To a certain extent, this is true. But once again, like I said, it's just we're and like think about it like this: if 5G is like Eminem, okay,
right?
Like Eminem kind of like came out around 97, 98, and then hip hop died immediately afterward.
Wow!
I'm not saying he killed it, right? I'm not saying he killed it because I only mentioned him because he was like the last of like the people that came out and made us go wow. Like think about it. Who made you say wow after Eminem? Think about it.
Not many people.
No one. No one made me say wow. And the reason why I say that is yes, we had Wayne, right? But Wayne was already out, so he don't count. Wayne came out his first album. He was 14 years old, guys. Okay, he just want y'all to realize the man was signed at 12. He was out at 14.
He was doing wobbly wop.
Yeah, he was already out.
Like his eye.
So, like, if cell phones are no limit, we're living 1999 because like No Limit died in like the year 2000. Okay, Juvenile left Cash Money in 2001, 2002. You know what I'm saying? Like it died. Mystical went to jail and what, like 03? See, No Limit dead. We are living in the days where the major carriers have already recognized that they probably don't make any more money by actually trying to be a front-faced company. They probably can look and go, wait a minute, if we remove all these extra advertising, we remove all these extra promotions and all this crap, and all we do is run our network and we let the MVNOs worry about that stuff, we don't lose any money. That's what I believe. I don't believe Verizon actually loses any money if you remove all of the advertising budget, remove all the perks and stuff, and you just focus on network as a service. I don't think they lose any money. I think they break even with less effort. And that's why I say the MVNOs, why they're allowing MVNO to have 100 gig priority plans.
But I mean, then that would come around to say that they could operate their network at a lower rate the whole time.
No, they could just quit altogether and make the same. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
True.
That's what I'm saying. If they get rid of all the advertising department, get rid of all the brick and mortar stores, get rid of all the sales personnel, get rid of all the logistics that require them to ship all these phones everywhere, get rid of every little thing that requires them to actually operate a retail or sales environment and only operate the network and let the MVNOs do everything else, they probably make more profit with less employees, less effort. And that's what I'm saying. And at some point, these companies are going to realize this, and they're going to begin to operate a network as a service. Think about like an airport, right?
Yeah.
Or own an airline?
The who?
Does the airport own all the airlines?
No, the airport is just a
Exactly.
hub.
It's a hub that basically gets to sit there, and they're basically like a housing projects for airlines.
Yeah,
All they gotta do is mop the floor and collect the rent. Like, really, think about it.
That's true. But yeah,
That's companies like Verizon at some point when they start looking at their profit margin and they go, hey, our pool, after we spend all this advertising budget and we do all these bundles and we discount all these freaking phones, our pool would probably be 15% higher if we just get rid of all that crap and only run the network. You see?
No, I understand that.
Especially if everybody runs to the MVNOs because the plans are cheaper and better. It's going to happen.
Hey, look, I mean, T-Mobile did go out and buy Mint. It's almost before the ink dried on the merger deal. So, I mean, you can see that the rush to go to MVNOs is a thing. I mean, the only company that's not really doing it is AT&T.
Yeah, but
they still got cricket.
But hey, think about this though. AT&T has been in a habitual. They don't really care about anything like cycle for like the last 15 years. AT&T doesn't care.
That is true.
They don't care, bro.
True.
Like, really, they just don't care. I want you to go out into any major city where AT&T is like a major operator, and I want you to tell me how many times you see one of their employees in real life.
You know what?
Think about it.
You know, I've seen their fiber, but I've never seen their technician. Which, you know what? Within our community, that famous mantra, T-Mobile doesn't have engineers either. And I think that's the end of the direction a lot of the industry is going in the first place.
What I'm getting at, like I said, if I go out into my area where if I go about 30 minutes north of me, it's an AT&T footprint, right? You barely will ever see an AT&T employee or vehicle ever.
Right.
There you go.
Man. I don't know, man.
Like this, you are more likely to see an AT&T sales rep at like third-party sales contractor at Walmart than you are to see an AT&T bucket truck or van anywhere.
No, that much I do. Well, there's always a bit more beneficial for customer service than it is.
But if you look at other companies, in the same type of industry, they're everywhere. Can't be escaped.
That is true.
That's why I say AT&T operates very differently.
Do you think that has to do with the fact that when you operate nationwide, you have to have a different strategy versus you could be like local? So like Comcast, I see a lot of Comcast trucks, like Xfinity or this, Xfinity everywhere. But understand they're regional to the area, right? So do you think that you not a company not having to worry about covering hundreds of thousands of miles versus only having to be within thousands of miles?
Well, so the reason why I point out that you'll never see AT&T employees like at a heavy presence, it's not because like how big the company is or the operating area. It's because AT&T's lack of care about even upgrading in the first place. So like if you think about it like this, right? If you got a city of 500,000 people, and AT&T, we already know they only have like a 30% footprint, even in like their best areas where they actually built, say, fiber, right? If fiber is your only exciting product and you only put it in 30% of a town, well, guess what? You only need 30% of a workforce to operate it, huh?
That's true.
You see what I'm getting at? If you can't service 500,000 people, then you don't hire enough people to service them, do you?
That's true.
Where if you look at a cable company, older technology, but they tend to have like 99% coverage of a market they go in. Wonder why you see their employees every 5 seconds.
That's true.
So once again, if AT&T were building like crazy, you would always feel their presence everywhere you go in the city where they operate, because they would always be doing business. They wouldn't be laying off 48,000 people every year. You see
I see what you're saying.
So I mean,
look, I just think that I'm getting. It look like I'm starting to get closer towards the whole MVNO side myself, because the fact that I buy my phones directly from the manufacturer, and then they got better financing in certain cases.
Look, here we go.
Than the carriers do.
I got solid numbers for you. You know how many employees AT&T had in 2007?
How many?
309,000. Care to guess what they
Okay.
have in 2024?
I bet it's down 100,000.
It's down 150,000.
Oh God, they cut their workforce in half.
That's my point I'm trying to make. When they were building Twisted Pair, they would cover the whole market, which means that you had a 99% chance of actually needing or being able to get their services. So you probably did. Whenever you stop building and you stop expanding your new or upgraded type of service, guess what? You don't really need people anymore. You're not doing any business.
That's true.
The same thing's going to happen with the cell phone carriers. They're going to realize that they can make just as much money without building more, without going bigger. And that's what I'm saying. AT&T has already realized that because they're a much older company than both Verizon and T-Mobile as a whole. They're a much older company. They've already recognized that less is more for them personally. Now, for us, it will benefit us more than it does them. That's what I'm saying. At some point, if Verizon keeps allowing MVNOs to literally have better plans at lower prices, they're just basically getting the parachute packed into the book bag so they can jump out and pull the cord. That's what 100 gig priority data plans are on MVNOs on Verizon's network. They're the parachute cord.
That's true. That's true.
Y'all, the future, remember. So if you remember back in the day, we had 2-year contracts on phones.
Yes. Then we went to 3.
Then we went to no contracts, and you were basically getting a loan for the phone instead. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
You're paying the phone off, and eventually there's going to be none of that either. You're going to be buying your phones, or you're going to be going to a third-party lender. And what are all the MVNOs doing? They're offering financing through third-party lenders.
Yeah, they are.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. We're heading for the future. That's why I told you this whole thing with unlocking phones is not news. It's because why would a carrier care about regulations on locking phones if their intent in the future is to not be financing them in the first place?
Well, I mean, AT&T and T-Mobile says differently though.
No. I'm talking about for now. I'm saying, they'll say anything. But once again, how do you fool a population into think that they're losing something great or gaining something good? You have to play the game.
True.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. They're playing the game.
True. Now, hey, look, since you so wonderfully segued towards that direction, let's go there. Here we go. So FCC wants.
Oh, see, I didn't know this was coming up.
See, you do you. I think you do see the rundown.
No, I really didn't.
Like you don't.
No, I just keep it real. This is who I am on my mama.
Hey man, it's either that or I pick stuff that I know you're gonna segue to. One of the two.
What it is.
But the FCC wants all phones unlocked in 60 days. AT&T and T-Mobile aren't so keen on the plan. So let me stop some of these commercials.
But guess what though, right? Them fighting this does not mean that they're totally against it. It just means maybe they're not ready, perhaps, sir.
Yeah.
Maybe they already have sales goals and projections and, stockholders to keep happy until they get to a certain window of time. You see, you don't just do stuff. You have to plan it.
Now, look, here's the thing. Through this article, they talk about how T-Mobile is more vocal about this. And the reason why they're more vocal, they said that if this goes into effect, they would have to stop offering services altogether.
So, what you mean? You mean financing services?
Financing services altogether.
What did I just say? Not even 2 seconds ago.
Yeah, you said it. But what I'm saying is, I think that this is going to advance them to move.
Either way, what does it do to T-Mobile?
Well, that's a good question.
Nothing. Not really.
But
all they're going to do is go shake hands with some bank and go, "Hey, you finance them now." And if they leave, they just pay you. You can, and then guess what? So guess who is going to start making deals with manufacturers? It will no longer be the cell phone companies. It will be the banks and lenders.
But I thought that, okay, so now you color me naive, but I thought that the phone financing was just another revenue source for the carriers themselves.
No, because there's no real markup on electronics to begin with, Keon.
Huh.
So if a phone costs $1,000 and I already give you a deal that's half off with your freaking trade-in that I can't really get real money for, how am I making money off of the financing? I'm not. I'm only using it as a tool to lock you in. It's no different than cable companies offering cell phone services. They're not making profit on those services, but it's a method to lock you into the bundle.
Right.
A retention device. So if T-Mobile says, hey, we're just going to stop doing financing, that don't mean they ain't going to get JP Morgan Chase or they ain't going to get Wells Fargo or whoever.
You know, I was suspecting that it was going to end up being pushed back towards the manufacturers. I mean, Samsung and Apple already do the financing themselves.
No, they don't. Samsung uses TD Bank for the financing. They're not financing that in-house. They're using a bank. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
so
I'm
guess
talking
what
about
happens when you're the bank and guess what happens when you're the bank, right? And now we say, hey, we're not going to finance phones anymore. T-Mobile comes out and says, hey, we're not going to finance phones anymore. We just signed a new partnership with TD Bank, right? Well, guess what happens? TD Bank is going to be the one that's going to start going to the manufacturer and demanding better deals in order to push their devices in stores or offer competitive sales. So now Samsung is going to have to cater to TD Bank to make sure the customer thinks their deal is good. You see, it's just going to hand it off to a bank at that point. And guess what? It doesn't matter if the phone's unlocked. T-Mobile doesn't lose when you leave because they're not stuck with the bill for your phone. TD Bank is.
That's true.
So if you leave and you go to Verizon with that phone and it's unlocked, well, guess what? You still got to pay payments to TD Bank or they can get Verizon to blacklist you.
I understand that.
That's what I'm saying. You're not removing lending. You're just moving who's doing it and who's controlling the market. And something tells me cell phone prices are going to go up when this happens as well.
Well, they're already high as it is. You talk about they're going to be higher.
Because think about it, when you're financing through T-Mobile, you have zero interest.
That's true.
Ain't gonna do zero interest.
No, they're not. No,
Chase ain't gonna do zero interest. Wells Fargo ain't gonna do zero interest
because the carrier is getting an extra from your cell phone bill, but the bank is gonna want money coming in.
The bank is gonna charge you interest for financing that phone.
Wow.
You see? And if we were to really look at that, guess what? It benefits the banks. Because now all these imagine good borrowers with really good credit scores and great payment history. Well, guess what? The bank just opened up a couple 100,000 new loans that they didn't get because the cell phone carriers were doing zero interest loans on all that market.
That's true.
So what I'm telling you is you're actually creating an even bigger market by pushing it to the bank, which means more profit across the board. You go from zero interest phones to 5, 10, 15, 12, 20% interest on cell phones.
But you know what? But what about those A series phones? Who's going to wanting to finance them things?
I mean, if TD Bank wants to let you finance $180, I mean, something I don't know, dog. I'm gonna just tell you, and I'm gonna tell you something else. I'm gonna tell you something else. I don't care how broke you are. If you financing $200 phones, you don't need a phone. You need Jesus.
Oh Lord.
I'm sorry, you can save up $180.
Look, man, everybody's not a rich person like you.
I'm not okay. See, first of all, if you can't come up with $180 every year, that ain't got nothing to do with being rich, sir.
Look, more than likely,
remember I just said, think about it. The guy who's getting the $180 phone ain't getting a new phone every year, is he?
No.
So if we spread out his $180 investment over 5 years, how much did he really spend?
You know what? That's going to become a problem for phone makers like Apple and Samsung, because if the financing gets pushed away from the carriers, that means there's no incentive to upgrade, because you see the carriers aren't really trying to push the upgrade on the network either.
No, they do want people to upgrade. People are choosing not to. And why? Because of what I said earlier. We have reached the end of the golden era. Phones are boring again. People feel no need to upgrade because there's no advancements actually happening. That's the reason the carriers are complaining about people not upgrading. Have you not seen all those articles?
Yeah, no, I've seen those.
Because phones are boring now. I have
mean,
yet
look,
to see a device come out and I go, oh my God, I gotta have it.
Huawei did it. It's not sold here.
No, Huawei look, Huawei is the only one that has done anything that I found remotely exciting in the last 5 years, and that was their crazy charging stuff that we still don't have on any of our mainstream devices.
You didn't see the trifold? You didn't see the trifold?
I don't care. I don't want no trifold phone. That's crap. I said, so when I say exciting, it means the average person would find it exciting, sir. The average person does not care about no daggum trifold phone, sir. But if you tell them you can charge your phone from 0 to 100% in 15 minutes, that's
going to drive.
But it ain't going to happen for us for like another 5 years because they're going to bring us out the iPhone 17, 18, 19, 25, and then they go, hey, look, we could do more than 25 watts, guys. And then people are going to go, oh my God, Apple did it again. They invented something new. I'm going to go, wow, they did that 10 years ago.
But you know what? That's something that angers me about the industry as it is right now. It is these little increments, and they know they can get away with it. Like Apple is not like I told Carlos and I told Brandon, and I said to him, I said if Apple just did a folding phone the way that Microsoft did theirs, which was just 2 screens side by side, didn't say fold, like it literally it folds, but the screen wasn't connected. If Apple just did that, they would break the internet. But they won't do it. I mean, they won't do it to save their life. What's going on, Rondo Geek? How you doing?
Saying is that they would have announced the iPhone 16 with like 60-watt charging or something, I would have bought one just because.
But see,
you know why? Because I'm that dude. I'm that guy.
Look, charging for you is the holy grail, right? I think that for some other people,
I'm saying it's the only thing running behind what we know already exists. Everything else is not running behind what already exists. Think about it.
Yeah.
You just you love folds, right? So you think the planet wants one. That's no different than a Trump supporter. Trump supporters don't realize that non-Trump supporters literally look at the Trump crowd like nutcases. Okay? They think that everybody feels like them. Right? And we don't.
Right.
That's the reason why it's easy to believe an election is stolen, because if you believe everybody feels like you can't fathom that it didn't go your way. It's the same thing in any other market, right? You love fold so much that you think that it's the best thing that ever happened. I had a fold, and I'm here to tell you that it did not change my life, sir. I have a fold in my book bag right now. It did not change my life. And every time I had my fold, I found myself missing my candy bar style phone. Not because the folding part wasn't great, right? It's because when I'm not in fold, right? Because guess what? One-handed operation fold is not really good, and closed fold is not good. You kind of got to have experience in both worlds. When you're not, right, when you're folded, you got such a small screen that the outside screen basically becomes useless. And when you're unfolded, the phone is so unhandleable that it becomes useless unless you're sitting still on the couch. So if you're a person who moves about the world and you're climbing and you're crawling and you're doing all these things, that unfolded mode is never used. And that is why it's not.
But you know what? But you know what? That's one of the reasons why I said that, you know, these different iterations that Samsung came out with, they're not pushing the edge of what people want. Like I said, even take Samsung with the folding phone. We're gonna use that one as an example.
But they're pushing the edge of durability and reliability, and that is the problem. Unless you're a couch potato person, you can't carry a fold every day and get away with it. You can't. I'm telling you, I've done it. You can't. You can't carry it every day in a physical life and get away with it. You can in a couch potato life. If you're constantly still, a folding phone is perfect for you because you're always going to be in an environment where the unfolded form factor is realistic. But once you leave that environment, it is unwieldy. It's not realistic.
Look, one of the things I kept saying was the outside screen needs to be bigger, and but making the inside screen matter also.
But even if you make the outside screen bigger, look how thick the phone still is. I remind you, unwieldy.
Well, here's the thing. Huawei did a trifold. Huawei did a trifold,
nobody's going to buy it.
But it's just as thick as a fold,
which means it's still too thick. Is the point I'm making. Still too
Well,
thick. That's all I'm saying. It's still too thick. So I'm just saying the Fold is cool, right? But it's not practical in an active lifestyle. And then not to mention how terrible the battery life is.
oh,
What I'm saying is this, right? If I have to sacrifice form factor, right, and comfortability, at least give me battery. They didn't do that.
they're not going to do that. But
That's what
then
I'm
on top
saying,
of that,
right?
they're not giving you the ability to charge fast either.
So what I'm saying is this, right? Even though I will say, hey, Apple maybe should bring out a folding device, right? Because that'll satisfy that like 10% of people who actually care. Cool, right? But 10% of
Right.
people don't run the market. And if
No.
you look at the market and people are not begging for a folding device, there's no point in doing the research and taking the risk of the lack of reliability to make that device. Because as much as I don't like Apple as a company, I have to tell you, I have broken every single Samsung and LG and Huawei phone I have ever owned and OnePlus, and I have yet to break my iPhone 14 Pro Max, and I'm living the same lifestyle. There's something to be said about that. I'm the man who a phone can't survive being with, and I have dropped and tossed and stepped on and sat on, and I can't even break my iPhone 14. That says something.
That's true. Look,
So,
I
I
have a tendency to be a little bit. I have a tendency to be a little bit more gentle with my electronics, sir.
But you don't live an active lifestyle. That's my point. So what I'm saying is this, right? If we were to try to pretend that the future of all phones is folding, that's not real. It's not real. The only way it becomes real is when they can make it thinner, reliable, and not unwieldy.
That's going to be a problem.
So what I'm getting at is that's the reason why you don't see folding phones killing the market. They kill. Guess what folding phones do? They make nerds like me and you go buy them.
True, but nerds push the market too.
But that's not true. It's not true. It's not true. Nerds push the limitations of what tech will be, not what the standard of tech will be. And you know how you can prove it? Look at the US market share on phones.
Hey, Apple did cross the 50% mark.
That's what I'm trying to say. If nerds
Apple
are pushing
did cross.
things, every nerd I know, I was literally in a room full of nerds literally just a week before last, and we got on the conversation without me saying a word. I'm just in the room like a fly on the wall, like, oh my God, this is happening. And every nerd in that room spent 15 minutes talking about why Apple sucks. Meanwhile, the market share keeps going their way.
That's true.
That's what I'm saying. Nerds think you control the market. You don't. You control the limits of the market, but not the standard of the market. So nerds push the envelope of the market, but will never be the standard of the market. Think about it. Where's Apple's 100x zoom lens? Doesn't exist. How long Samsung had it? I don't know. Like 8 damn years.
Oh, they had it for a while.
Just saying.
I mean, they were doing it way sooner.
So what I'm saying is it doesn't mean that certain things Samsung does not influence Apple, because it clearly does. Things like AMOLED displays, things like larger batteries, things like USB-C, faster charging. All these things are factors.
USB-C was pushed because the EU was going to slam them. I think that if that never happened, they would have never changed.
But remember something. USB-C is the original Lightning.
Yes.
USB-C is Lightning before Lightning. Apple helped develop USB-C. The only reason they didn't go to USB-C as soon as it was available is because they figured out they could make more money by not. And what did their customers do? They didn't care. There is not a single person in the world who switched to iPhone because they got a USB-C plug on. You know how I know this? When I went to Florida, I went to Clearwater. I went to Clearwater back, 2 months ago. Went to Clearwater, Florida, and one of the young girls in the car, one of my daughter's cousins or friends, had an iPhone 15.
Oh.
And she tells me, she says, oh my God, my phone's dying. Here, do you have a way to plug up my charger? It's a new Apple charger. I proceed to go, what phone you got? Oh, I've got an iPhone 15. I pull up a USB-C cable. I already had it. It was already ready. And she
Right.
goes, oh, you got an iPhone 15 too? I go, no, this is a USB-C plug. Like she thought it was a new thing because because her
But they've
entire
been living.
life
But they've
in
been living.
phones, she literally was born into a world where lightning is the only charger.
Yeah,
And when she said USB-C, that is a new thing.
that's true.
That is not like something Apple has been taking forever to go get to these people.
Look, I'm under the assumption that they would have never switched if it wasn't for the EU.
What?
I
Because
don't
of
think
the
that they would have
money.
switched over.
Because of the money, though. The only reason why they did this was money. It's not
Yeah.
that Apple cared about the tech or what the customers wanted. They care about money. So guess what happens when a country tells you or an area tells you you have to use this plug or we're gonna not allow your devices to be sold. They go, hey, better lose some money than all of it. So what I'm telling you is that nerds did not make that happen. It's the non-nerds who were tree hugging, talking about chargers in landfills that got that to happen. Had nothing to do with the nerds. Nerds did not move the USB-C needle for iPhones. Tree hugging Karens did.
Well, I just think that hey, look, I agree with you. Look, as much as I begrudgingly want to agree with you, I still have to acknowledge that. People just love their convenience. People love convenience more than they care about innovation.
Yeah,
but
to a certain extent, right?
You can also tell that the YouTube videos on iPhones have gone down too. Like nobody's real. Like,
but I would bet YouTube videos on all phones have gone down.
That's true too.
I bet it because the market is boring. Like I keep saying.
Yeah,
bro,
I
I'm
agree.
that guy that was watching every single new phone come out, and it didn't matter who was making it. It was like, oh, Huawei got one, Apple got one, Vivo got one, Blue got one. It didn't matter. I was all there. I literally have not clicked a video about a cell phone review in probably 3 years.
You know, I used to try to catch the keynote speeches, but now I'll just watch the recaps.
It's not
like you know
worth your time.
What is it? I go back and I will look at the recaps of, like, let's say on The Verge or Engadget or whatever. They do everything you need to know in 12 minutes, and I'll be like, all right, bet 12 minutes, bet I'll watch that, no problem.
And I'm gonna tell you what's even funnier. I have noticed that non-tech people are starting to tell me about stuff like it's some new thing, and I'm like, yeah, I knew about that 3 years ago. They're like all excited about, like, they think they got some new thing, and they're like, oh, I got this YouTuber man I found. I'm like, who? They're like, oh, Jerry Rig Everything. I was like, oh, I was watching him 10, 12 years ago. Really?
Hey, look, I can't watch. Hey, look, I watch him. I can't watch Jerry Rig. I just can't. You know why? I loved watching it, like when he did like the EV Hummer, but I can't watch somebody destroy phones or destroy electronics. Like, if you're going to disassemble it,
hey, but I break phones all the time, so I'm in.
But I can't watch somebody like,
I'm insensitive.
Look, man, I can't watch somebody like purposely like bend the phone like that. That makes I don't know what that does to me. I don't know. I feel I get anxious. I get sweaty. I'm like, oh my God, he's gonna break the phone.
What's like I told you guys too, like 5G is trending down, starting to trend down.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. 5G has become boring. It's trending down. It's not trending up. Think about it. Half the people I've seen spent the last 2 months talking about satellite. They ain't even talking about 5G no more.
That's true.
I'm just saying the whole, like, I don't know, anybody in the comments, do you know of a website that tells you like the history of trends? That's what I'd like to know.
I would like to know that too.
I need to find if it doesn't exist, we might need to make that site ourselves and get paid. A site that literally tracks trends and their life and how the market reacts to those trends and how long they last. Are they still relevant?
Going back to bell bottoms, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, because same thing's happening with fashion. I see a lot, like my wife's in the fashion world and the beauty world, and she's saying a lot of the same thing. Like, people are getting bored. They're getting bored with fashion. to the point that they're so desperate, they're trying to like rewear stuff from like 93, 94, 95.
Oh,
And
look,
I see
hey,
it in these kids. My daughter's got some pants that look like they came from 1985. And I'm like,
hey,
are you really wearing those?
hey, you know that old thing, nothing's
Everything-
new under the sun.
Yeah, nothing's new. What I'm saying is we're going backwards. Like people are
Yeah, but-
bored, and they're so bored that they literally looking back to history. They're bored with the so-called future. Is what I'm getting at.
Oh no, and I agree with you. I mean, but the same thing about music. I mean, hey, if you drive as much as somebody like you and I do, I know you've driven down the road, you get into the city, and then you hear somebody playing some. Man, I heard some, the oldies but goodies hit the scene. Man, I'm like, whoo, look at that.
So, for
I'm like,
example,
who thought about that one?
who we got in here? It's our
That's
boy
Brandon.
Brandon. What up, Brandon?
Brandon. He's taking a moment. Oh Lord!
Yeah, we got Brandon.
He's
Brandon's
doing
out
it.
there. He is coming in live from the field. Brandon, tell us what's going on out there in the field.
Never mind it. Okay, so I wanted to talk about something.
Yeah, let Brandon cook for a minute.
Go ahead, Brandon. What you cooking on?
So no radio brought up a point about the iPhone charger. A lot of people, it's so sad to say, but people look at the iPhone, the 15 and newer as an Android charger.
Yeah, but a lot of people are starting to realize that now.
But nobody ever knew that Apple ever made the USB-C.
Oh, because they never made it publicly.
Well, they didn't make it, but they were a part of the company alignment
Development
to make it.
They were part of the development.
Yeah. But
the whole idea behind USB-C was you needed something universal and reversible. And that's the reason why the Lightning connector came out first before USB-C did.
And smaller than the
and smaller.
Yeah.
Right.
And then when USB-C hit the ground, the development behind it just skyrocketed. Where the Lightning connector was like stalled in place at 200 megabits per second, and it never changed. It takes me 20 minutes to move a video to an SD card or a thumb drive, and I'm like, I do that in 2 minutes on my regular USB-C phone.
So it
was getting bad. But see, then what makes it so bad is you see now. Look at the people who are doing iPhone videos. They're recording directly to the storage device now, which means that they're doing more with their phones.
The nerds are doing more with their phones. Get it straight.
Exactly.
The nerds. Hey.
Let's just be real. I would bet that 90% of iPhone users have never actually transferred phones via a cable in their life.
I believe that. I think that's a safe number. 90%.
Their cloud is what they rely on.
You know what they'll do on radio? They will literally grab the pictures from Facebook and upload them and then connect them to another phone.
Yep. I'm telling you, they don't even think about transferring data. I've dealt with these people for years.
And if they do, they probably use Google Photos.
Which is why it's easy to lock somebody in when you when you put barriers up and only give them one direction to go in.
I guarantee you, I have put more Wi-Fi passwords in an iPhone than anybody you know.
I believe it. I believe that one.
1,800 homes a year for 15 years.
Oh no, radio.
That's stuff I be touching.
Speaking of passcodes,
and that's my low numbers.
he said that's an off day.
that's the low number. I'm telling you, 15 years of dealing with other people's technology, averaging 1,800 home visits a year.
Passwords and Wi-Fi is always the number one.
You know how many networks I got saved?
Number one.
You know, when I get a new Android, there's still other people's networks showing up in my phones from 10 years ago.
Oh Lord!
Because of how long I've been doing it.
Yo, I had to one time I had to do a cutoff and I was like, look, I'm starting afresh. I'm not gonna have all these Wi-Fi networks stuck in my phone.
Yeah.
Oh, Brandon, you about to say something? What's up, man?
No, I was gonna say something. It's so crazy how a lot of people went crazy on the new iOS update because they were like, "Oh, you can lock phones, and lock the apps and all that."
Oh
And
God.
but I'm like, if you already know that person's passcode, then what different does it matter?
Look, that comes from somebody who cheats on their wife or cheats on their girlfriend or whatever. You know, the thing that a lot of guys will do is they'll just give the passcode to their phone to their girl. But then now it's like a common rule to do. But
But
these
admin,
cheaters,
that's
but these cheaters still want to cheat. So now you need to be able to hide it. You need to be able to hide it in plain sight now. That's all.
But admin, it's literally the same password.
That's because they're lazy. That's a lazy person, sir.
No,
What do you think about a lazy person?
No,
Let's just be real. If you want to be a cheater, get you a dumb girl. Okay, get you a dumb girl. That's your best bet. And when I say dumb, I don't mean like she's retarded. Lord forgive me. Mentally disabled. I don't mean that. I mean she don't watch Apple keynotes to know that she can lock it down. To know that she can lock apps down.
You talking about Vivian?
How many people do you think that watch? How many people you think that? How many women do you think that have iPhones watch the keynote?
That is a dry vagina room. Okay. I'm betting that in the entire of the United States, 1% of female Apple users watch that keynote. Okay,
and a majority of those are journalists who
They're
have to
all
cover it.
journalists.
They don't have any
And
idea.
if you don't think so, you probably got, you probably ain't getting no wet anyway.
Wow.
And that is your problem.
But
anyway.
no, Brandon, here's the thing: is it's solving a problem.
No, hold on. No, but like it doesn't make sense because look at it like this: if your child knows your passcode on your phone and you have Apple Pay on there, you could literally get DoorDash or Uber Eats because they know your passcode.
Yes.
On Apple
why
Pay.
Why do you think that Apple got sued because
yes they did
because kids were like ordering extra stuff off the App Store and parents didn't even know that it was going on. Like they running up $14,000 bills.
Yeah, that one kid, he smoked his parents' life savings. Bro, Jesus. See, this is why people, you don't ever attach your real money account to your phone. I don't care what you got. You get you a separate virtual card that has a spending limit to attach to your phone so you can regulate what happens.
That's true.
If you're smart, I literally have 5 virtual credit cards, and I can at any day, at any point in time, modify their spending limits on all of those. So with that said, this will never happen to me. No man is going to be able to do that.
Nobody, the same people that have the iPhone 11 still have the original operating system on that phone. Those are the same people.
Hey, look, my thing is how does that happen when I don't even use my iPhone that much, and then I wake up, or let's say I end up using it to get ready to record a video, they'll say, "Hey, your operating system just upgraded." Like, I don't know how they do that now. Like, if your phone sees a network,
you have it set to automatic, sir. That's how.
But here's the thing: I didn't change any setting. It came out of the box that way.
Well, no, duh.
So that's why I'm like, but no. But that's why I'm saying, like with Brandon, I don't know how that's possible when if you don't touch your phone, it tries to update itself regardless.
Those older phones were set up differently out of the box. Keon, you're now making assumptions.
And there's some people that don't even connect to their own Wi-Fi because they don't know the passcode.
And don't let that same person have a low cell phone plan. It ain't gonna never download that update.
No, you know what?
2 kilobits per second.
No, you know what they're gonna say on the radio? They're gonna be like, "There's so many people on the network."
But it's like this. We talk about like people's data usage. Have you ever had a conversation with a person that doesn't care about data, like legitimately doesn't care about data?
I know that
My
the whole data
girlfriend.
conversation has kind of gone down.
I
Has
got
really
look.
gone down.
You know how I try to bring you down to earth on your nerdism,
Yes.
and so that means I'm more grounded than you are about my nerdism. I literally found myself being Keon in a scenario where I was with an even lesser nerd, and every time I told him about what he was losing by not having priority data, all he cared about was the price.
I believe that.
I'm like, but you know, what you call it? It'd be buffering. He'd be like, yeah, but it costs this much. I'm like, but then they be doing this and they be doing that. But yeah, but it costs this much. And baby doing this, that. But it costs this much. So that means this, Keon, I'm more grounded than you on what people's use habits and actions are. And even I can be humbled by how even much less than what I think people actually care about.
No, hey, but no radio. But understand something. I was telling.
This was a man the same age as me, younger than you.
Yeah, but hey, look, I was telling Brandon the same exact thing. Is we like human beings like convenience, which is why we don't have the whole having to count data, minutes, buckets, and stuff anymore.
Yeah, but
as soon as you make people have to do that,
know how to read.
But
oh Lord.
But think about it like this, right? My wife don't count data usage, and she has a Verizon Plus. She has a Plus plan. She don't count usage. You know how much she uses? Like 18 gigs.
Yeah.
She's not counting anything, sir.
Nope.
That's all I'm saying.
Hey man,
we are high ceilings. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
No. We're not even the ceiling. We're in the sky. But
so basically, like when it comes to cell phone plans and devices, we like Bugattis. A lot of people are just fine with a Honda Civic or a Toyota Corolla.
I like my Veyron, sir. I want my Veyron. Leave me alone.
I can still get to McDonald's or Taco Bell with my Corolla. Why do I need a Bugatti?
Man.
But no, really, say people that back then when they didn't know how to get to point A to point B and they use their GPS and they run out of that, those are the ones that were crying.
Yeah. Hey, look, the radio. Even though, like, when Sprint was still around, okay, and I was a cab driver in Montgomery County, and I was still on Sprint, and and everybody kept saying, "Well, why don't you get on Verizon or AT&T?" And I said, because Sprint is still unlimited, and I said the second it becomes unlimited, I might as well go to Verizon because guess what? I dealt with dead spots with Sprint. I dealt with bad data. I've dealt with all that stuff, but why? Because they were cheaper.
Well, I'm here to take what year was that, sir? Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. I'm gonna tell you
15.
why. It probably wouldn't. Nah, 15. That's way too new. Brandon, your age is showing. Tuck it in, sir. Tuck it in. 15. That is modern age. That is not old days.
No.
I would wager that these days were somewhere between 2011 and 2013.
It was.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm here to tell you that Sprint was faster than Verizon in all of those days.
Hey,
look,
look. Hey, look.
Even here when they suck, they were faster than Verizon in those days.
I'm just saying, dog. Hey, I'm just saying that I would hit dead spots even in the city, and I would still took those dead spots. But then, I got tired of waiting for them to upgrade the network, and I switched over to T-Mobile.
You want to know what Verizon was getting in my area in 2018, 2019? 1.5 megabits per second.
Ooh.
And I'm talking about in the city, in the major city. You know what T-Mobile was getting? 100.
Hey, look, let me say this real quick.
They had bandwidth.
Hey, look, let me say this real quick. Jim, I'm going to start questioning how you know this information. I'm just going to let that. I'm going to let anybody else read. I'm going to let you read the comment.
I'm not looking at YouTube, sir. So just go ahead and explain.
Oh, look, he just talked about, what happened in the news with Diddy. That's all. But he says,
I heard that Kermit the Frog is going to be testifying against Diddy. I heard it. I'm just letting y'all know. I heard they already called Kermit in for his statement, and it is not.
That's why I didn't want to say
good.
nothing. See, that's why I didn't want to say nothing.
Hey, Keon, you care about views or you care about your feelings? I'm just saying. I heard that they called Kermit the Frog in as a witness,
as an eyewitness,
and a victim to Diddy's
No radio, whatever
Diddy
happened.
shenanigans.
Oh, Lord.
And I will show you the images in private, Keon, that were
Oh.
released by the federal government.
God.
No radio.
And it
Why
is
is
not
Barney
pretty.
ghetto now?
Say what?
I said, why is Barney ghetto now?
First of all, Barney been ghetto ever since the first Barney Tupac video, and that was like the earliest days of YouTube. So
First of all, I haven't seen that. What? What? I haven't seen that.
I be forgetting you ain't really black. It's
Oh,
okay.
God. Oh.
It's okay.
First of all, Barney and Tupac together.
The fact that you have never seen it just shows what side of the internet you live on. I would wager someone in the comments has seen a Barney Tupac video.
Oh, Lord. Lord. But no,
like,
hey. Look, man.
I will be happy to show you this after the live is over.
Will do. Yo, look. Hey, quick side notes. Let's see. I have to do an update on this because it finally crossed the board. I was waiting for this update. I didn't want to say yay or nay on this too fast, but T-Mobile got shot down by the FCC.
Oh, yeah.
T-Mobile got shot down by the FCC. Finally confirmed that they have to.
60 seconds for this topic. Go ahead.
Finally confirmed that we have been facing about the Starlink power service. So anybody who was living underneath a table about this, everybody's all the carriers are trying to do satellite cell phone service, or what they call it, satellite to device directly. And T-Mobile heard back from the FCC. They said they haven't been approved of this information just yet. The fact that it took so long for them to finally do this says that they probably are thinking about it, because they supposed to return a response in August, but we're almost at the end of September, almost a month later, and now we just finding out about it officially. I know that other people said that, hey, it was going to be a foregone conclusion, but if the FCC doesn't give a overhand response about it, that's kind of how I look at it. Wow, did you put me on a timer?
Oh, this is like the rocket launch for those satellites that are never going to get used for 5G.
Oh, man, he put me on a timer. Oh, look, that's it. That's what I mean. I wanted to recap that because I think that some people might.
Go ahead.
Some people just want to know.
Alrighty, the world's smallest violin. You guys, give him a hand.
Wow. Wow. But hey, that's it. That's all. I wanted to recap that.
EM said he wants his money.
I don't owe him no money. I don't owe him no money.
He said he wants his money for even listening to you talk about this.
Look, hey, I told EM and I told Sneed, like, hey, look, until I actually hear from the FCC, and the FCC took a month to finally respond. So
you got a habit of not taking bets, sir.
I don't. You want to know why? Because I have a very bad record.
Same difference.
Sir, I am always wrong. What are you talking about? Why would I bet if I know I might be wrong?
So when are you gonna learn?
Well, I'd like to be wrong. It's controversial.
Sometimes cutting edge is literally just like like the fat you trim off of the meat before you cook it and throw it in the trash.
Hey, the fat gives flavor, sir. Hey, the fat gives flavor.
No, you cook it with the fat, then you discard of said fat. when you eat collard greens, what do you put in it? You put fat back. You don't throw the collards out and serve the fat back. You serve the collards, and anybody who wants a little salt to up their blood pressure will grab a piece of that fat back and suck on it.
That's why you leave some of the fat back in there. They able to get you crush up the fat back in it. Man, you get
that just sounds like diabetes, obesity, and early death. I was a fat back partaker, and now I don't do fat back.
Okay? Oh, look, man.
Cigarettes, they will both kill you at the same speed.
Yo, hey. So no radio. Before we get off the whole 5G train, new technology coming out of Japan.
Here we go. It
New
better be
technology
good.
coming out of Japan.
Look, here goes his cutting edge. Here comes that fat we're gonna have to trim.
Oh God, leave it alone. Say goodbye to Dead Zone. Brilliant new tech turns Windows into 5G antennas.
Dead on arrival.
Why?
Who's gonna install these windows and where?
I'm just saying it gives you more options.
I said who's gonna install them and where? I don't care about options. I said who's gonna
I
actually
don't know
use it.
who. I don't know
Nobody.
who's going to install them.
Nobody. Nobody. That's who.
But you don't find that to be interesting.
I don't care if it's interesting. It ain't applicable. It ain't applicable to real life, bro.
How I think it is because everything's about aesthetic.
Well, as we just said a few minutes ago, would you like to bet?
No.
All righty.
Look, I think.
Where's the
Look,
timer
I'm
when
gonna
you need it?
give.
I'm just
I'm gonna
trolling.
give my
I'm trolling at this point.
I know you are. Don't put me on a timer again.
I will do it.
Hey, look, I'm gonna say my 2 cents about it. The way that they talk about it and what they're doing in Japan is they embed the antennas into the window, and then they put the window up and run the cables through either through the building up the side of the building or inside the building. To kind of hide away where the antennas are.
Okay, how much coverage area do you get with this antenna? I bet it doesn't say it. I bet it don't say it.
It does not say. It does not say.
I wonder why.
Edmund, you want to know something funny, sir?
What's funny, sir?
Anything that Japan makes, it'll get blocked in the U.S.
No, not really. Not really. No.
Brandon,
no.
I know you're a right winger, but Japan and China are 2 different countries. Okay?
They still eat
I'm sorry, Brandon. I couldn't help myself.
We technically take everything Japan designs, so you are wrong factually.
Japan and South Korea.
Everything Japan does, we take it. Show me something we rejected from Japan. It doesn't exist. That's why Honda and Toyota literally run the entire car market.
That's true. That is
and
for
Kawasaki,
sure true.
Suzuki, Yamaha all run the motorcycle market, hands down.
That is for sure true.
America don't even run America, so let's just be real.
But
this ain't gonna happen, and I'm gonna tell you why it's not gonna happen. It's not because the tech isn't cool. It's because I guarantee that this costs more than a regular 5G panel does and covers less people, and that is the reason why they won't be utilizing this on wide scale anywhere in the world. That's the only reason. It's not because it's not cool. It's because I guarantee you that this costs more than existing tech that we already have that gets the same job done better. That is all.
But okay, so what about all these different how AT&T and T-Mobile and Verizon have to put like an antenna inside of a steeple?
It's cheaper,
or
it's cheaper to put it in the steeple than I bet this costs. Is my point. And once again, we'll cover more people. The steeple literally covers the same as any other macro. This ain't gonna give you macro coverage.
True.
There you go. What are you gonna do?
True.
Find an office building, go 48 floors up, and put a $100,000 pane glass in and get one sector? No.
Well,
you know how much just a plane of glass costs at that size without it being an antenna?
I mean, hey. Those things are big and heavy.
5-10 G's, man, my boy. Now you're gonna add an antenna to it? That's a $60,000 piece of glass. Plus,
let me ask this question: What happens when there's no new space on the building rooftop to put anything on?
They don't care. That's what happens.
Think
about it. Verizon has to go. Say Verizon was the one that want to implement this, right?
Yeah.
They're gonna have to show up at like some random freaking retail location. They go, yo, we want to take your glass out and put our glass in, and we're gonna run these cables through your building, and we're gonna pay you. We want to pay you $1,000 a month to put it. And the business goes, okay, cool. And then Verizon realizes that they're only covering the people right in front of the business. Small cell would have been better because at least they could have done 3 sectors.
True.
That's all I'm saying. A small cell in the parking lot will be more effective than its glass.
I mean, we don't know what the propagation of this would end up being.
Well, I'm pretty sure I could about guess 2 sectors maximum, meaning it would only cover inside the business and directly in front of the business. What about behind the building?
No.
But a small cell would have covered behind the building, the front of the building, side of the building. You see my point?
No, I see what you're saying. I'm just saying, like
And
in
probably be
in an
cheaper.
urban, but in an urban environment, you only get like one sector in certain cases. Matter of fact, when you get in the urban environments, a lot of times it's not even sectors. They're just
give me the urban environment where they don't have 3 sector small cells anywhere. Show it to
not
me.
small cells. I'm talking about the micros.
But I know, you know, but small cells is the gap between macros and not macros, not this. Small cells still give you 3 sectors, bro. I would bet this is 2 sectors because in reality, you can only broadcast front and back out of the glass.
More than likely, this is only going to be one way. It's going to point outward. It's not even going to go in.
That's me. Look, that's me giving them like extra. So I just want you to be clear. I'm giving them like, hey, maybe they can do 2 sectors. I still think a small cell in the parking lot with existing antenna gear is probably a better deal.
Now, the funny thing is they don't do this. This is only for sub 6. They're not even doing millimeter wave through this.
It's probably not worth it, bro. It's probably not worth it.
Look, this would be even better if they found a way to do millimeter wave off this. This could actually put millimeter wave closer to customers and make it a more viable use case. But that's just me.
Even then, the coverage you would get is the problem. If we look at how much you invest in this versus the alternative, is it better? That's all I'm arguing.
True.
Is the millimeter wave site in the parking lot more expensive, less effective, more effective?
Right.
I don't see it.
The reason why this kind of looked like for me was there are, how can I say it? There are building codes and different things, and because you got to put a whole 5G antenna inside of a steeple. I mean, because it's on the highest point in town. I mean, I'm like, golly, and a lot like how you got a lot of the Karens that go walk around and go, I don't like that looking the way it looks and da 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 da. And I'm like, well, now you can embed them inside of glass. A building itself becomes the antenna. So that's all I'm saying.
But you know me, I'm gonna do deeper reading into it.
I know.
And something tells me from what I'm looking at, this is like max 4x4 MIMO. That's a downgrade.
Mm-hmm. I don't think they're going to be able to do massive MIMO off of it.
That's my point. Small cell probably be better in the parking lot. This just looks better. That's the only thing you gain from this is how it looks. Nothing else.
Which have we not seen cell sites being disapproved because we don't want that eyesore in the middle of our town.
But let's not act like 50% of that hate is not fear of technology.
No, it's just hate.
It's almost rarely ever just looks. They just add that to the list. So think about this, right? If you're a 70-year-old lady, and you consider yourself to be fairly health conscious, and somebody comes through your neighborhood and they tell you, I know all about 5G. This thing causes cancer and it's gonna be ugly. Even if you didn't know, even if you don't know whether or not it really causes cancer, for a lot of these old Karens, ugly is enough.
Oh, that's all it takes.
So, a lot of people do things like this, right? They'll go, hey, migrants mess up our economy. And they go, oh, well, I'm good. Hey, but they're also making your neighborhood unsafe. Oh, I'm not good anymore. You see? You see?
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
You pick up scragglers with the extra crap. That's what's going on with the cell phone world.
That's true.
They add on crap that ain't really logical because it appeals to a certain group of people.
But you know what? I'm just saying that when you're trying to figure out ways to try to get over the whole aesthetics, right? When how when you try to dig a hole to put even a small cell in, here comes the neighborhood Karen watch going, oh my God, you ripping up the ground and making things look ugly, and then my flower bed was gonna go there.
So here's my question to you. we already have certain technologies that only one of our major carriers has even cared to try to build. What makes you think there's an entire market for this?
I don't know.
Whoa.
That's a good question. That's a good question.
T-Mobile and AT&T ain't running top speed to build millimeter wave, but you think the whole market's gonna come from this glass?
No, but I think that
that's my point. If they're gonna do it, they're gonna do it cheapest possible.
Of course.
Ain't that.
Look, man, I've even said that when it comes to millimeter wave, like I think that T-Mobile just gonna staple it to buildings. Like they're gonna just hang it all. Look, they're gonna hang it off some bird somewhere and hope that he stay put.
I think they're gonna go macro. I think they're gonna go macro.
That too, but I mean, it's gonna be the all the above approach. I mean, even what was it? SpeedTech was saying that he was seeing macro millimeter wave for T-Mobile.
Yeah, so I know that already. So, I knew it's going to happen. I've tested it on macro. It's better on macro as far as usability. So I disagree with even Verizon on how they've deployed it. It's more usable on Verizon macro sites because of the coverage area.
Right.
Not peak speed. Peak speeds are cool, right? But if I'm able to get 1,000 megs anywhere in like a quarter-mile area off of a single macro, that is more valuable to me than being able to get 4 gigs in one spot on the corner. Period.
That's true.
So that's the difference between millimeter wave on macro. Yeah, you don't get the same peak speeds, but the amount of people you touch is greater.
Right.
I can go to the intersection of, if anybody's listening from North Carolina and you live near the Greensboro area, Verizon has a millimeter wave on macro at the intersection of Patterson and Holden. And I'm here to tell you, it reaches every corner of the intersection and every parking lot of every place over there from that macro. You go right up the street to Spring Garden Street, and as soon as you turn around the corner, you lose millimeter wave. And you drop to 50 megabits per second. So
hey, I've seen it here in DC. The Navy Yard area where it's macro, but here's the thing: I only hit it when I'm on the freeway. Especially when I'm in stop and go on the freeways, when I actually notice that I'm on it, because you're moving so fast that if there's no traffic, that you bypass it. But being in the neighborhood, the coverage is pretty good. But no, I'm just saying, like, it's always good to have more options, right? If you're restricted from building and you can't find a steeple, or you can't find put a fake tree in because even the fake tree is not satisfactory to the Karen, then at least you got a window.
I'll give you an example, right? I used to work in the satellite industry. When I worked for Dish Network, do you know how many types of mounts we had for dishes?
Probably a whole bunch.
Bro, we had like 10 different types of mounts. Do you know how many times I got to use an alternative mount if we had to look at percentage base? 1%. 1% of the time I use an alternative mounting method other than the traditional satellite mount you would use. Why? Because there's very few applications. Now, and even in that world, those alternative mounts were only more expensive because of their lack of use. They were used a lot, then the bulk supply of them would over time pay for themselves, right?
Right.
This is something that's probably going to be way more expensive than the alternatives. And that is the only reason why I say what I say.
No. I believe that. I believe what you're saying. The cost of operating it or getting it installed is going to be high, right?
I guarantee that panel is probably 50 G's. That's all I'm saying.
But here's the thing: you probably got to get it specially made for whatever window you're going to end up having to get it for.
Point. That's all I'm saying.
But
you can't just ship and fill a warehouse up of this glass, and it's just going to go everywhere. You can't do it.
No. But let me ask this.
You know what's going to happen? They're going to put like one NFL stadium. They'll put it in like one shopping mall, one Coliseum, and go, look what we did. Look how cool it is. And then they won't put it anymore. The same way T-Mobile has already treated millimeter wave.
True. Look, I'm just saying that if you come across this city council that won't approve your tower,
They're not gonna
and
do this.
you got some decent high windows,
Still not gonna
decent
do
high
this.
buildings in the area, but they just won't let you approve that tower or even go on a rooftop.
They're not gonna do it. I'm telling you, they won't. They're still not gonna do it. They're still not gonna do it, bro. I'm telling you.
I feel you.
Do it. It ain't gonna happen. Mark my word. It ain't gonna happen.
Man.
They're gonna look at the cost and go, why would we do that? That's suicide. That's free. That's free money, basically. That's charity. That's the problem. The cost becomes a charity instead of a profitable investment. And that is the problem.
No. I understand. I understand where you're coming from.
They're not gonna do it.
Look, you want to talk about
I will wait. Let's look. What year is it? 2024?
2024.
Let's put I'm gonna set a reminder. Hey Siri, remind me to ask Keon about 5G glass in 2026.
Okay.
You know what? You just set off a whole bunch of
the 1st of January 2026.
There you go.
You just set off a whole bunch of people's iPhones.
That's what it is. She said, I'm giving you 2 years on your glass. We'll see what happens.
I'm gonna have to go back and dig around and see if I can find a new article about it.
You got till 2026 to show me that an American carrier actually utilized this on a scale more than 5 installations.
More than 5.
Yeah, because that's even less than T-Mobile's millimeter wave deployment. So let's go.
Dagger. Yeah, you just gotta drag that knife in.
Look, I'm not saying T-Mobile should do millimeter wave. And I'm also not saying it's to this glass either. That's all I'm saying.
True.
I prefer C-band over Verizon's millimeter wave any day. It's what it is.
Hey, look, I got another story for you, man. Hey, look, I would have never thought this was going to happen soon or even spoken of, sir. We are speaking about this on an open forum now. We gotta pour out some for the homie because I think he's getting ready to die. Intel. Qualcomm wants to buy Intel.
First of all, despite the fact that Intel is the manufacturer of the main CPU I use in my music production setup, they're not my homie.
No, what? They're not the OG.
In fact, I care so little about Intel that I'm like that girl on the movie I got to hook up that said she was gonna spit on that fool in his coffin. I will spit on Intel while they lay in the coffin at their funeral.
Wow.
I don't care. I have loved my AMD machines way more than I have my Intel machines over the years.
Man, are you saying? Look, are you saying that we should just go ahead and just put the pillow over their face and call it a day?
No, but we should definitely unplug the machine. Walk away.
Oh God!
Walk away. Let God have it. It's in His hands. Intel is a hard-headed company who, if they come to a demise, deserves every bit of it. They have literally played the Apple game, and just like the Apple game, it will end eventually.
Well, I mean, Intel. I never thought that Intel pivoted very well with their whole their whole business mantra, right?
They're lazy.
They got caught. It's like they walked around flat-footed, right?
They're lazy and greedy.
That's how I looked at it. Was
so I hope that Qualcomm does take over Intel's foundries.
I don't think they're going to get the foundries.
No, I didn't say get them, but I'm saying they partner and they use Intel's foundries and technological advances and skills to build better ARM processors.
Okay, I see that.
That's what I mean. Meaning this, I've already said it over 2 years ago. Everybody kind of knows that Intel is walking their way into becoming a foundry only.
Yeah.
It's the same argument we talked about earlier with Verizon. At some point, just being the foundry does not lose you profit. If you remove all the other portions of the business and you just
The
focus on
the
manufacturing,
foundry is the most profitable version of Intel.
that is my point. Now imagine they get rid of all their public-facing images. When's the last time you were anywhere and you saw a TSMC sticker on something?
No, you never seen it.
My point. Intel needs to take over in the foundry business, and they need to capitalize on the ARM growth and begin to produce for Qualcomm, even produce for AMD, even produce for NVIDIA. They just need to focus on foundry. They need to put all their R&D into figuring out how to get us all the way down to 1 nanometer.
Well, that's what their primary goal is. I mean, look, even the CEO of Intel was talking about spinning off the chip making business, separate from, I guess, Intel's R&D research. I guess that's because you're seeing them peel out, like sell different parts of themselves. Apple has their 5G, took their 5G chip making, the 5G
exactly.
Radio chip making business.
And I bet money that Intel is still going to be actually making those. Apple's just in charge of design. They need to go ahead and focus on. They need to make sure that they beat everybody down to 1 nanometer. And we're expecting to see 1 nanometer somewhere around 2027 to 2030. So they have a you
know what? They're retooling right now.
But they need to focus on capitalizing and being the first to 1 nanometer, and they need to sell that like hotcakes, as Dave Chappelle would say, to manufacturers like Qualcomm, companies like Qualcomm, even AMD. They need to become the godfather of chip making. They need to do.
But that's the thing. They've been scattershot. That's why they like the TMCs and the Samsungs and everybody else is overlapping them now. Even Intel had to use TMC to build some of their own chips because they were retooling theirs.
And at the same time, if they focus on trying to just worry about how far they can take the manufacturing tech, they can also make money by licensing that tech to other foundries. So there's a way to do this that lets them leave with their dignity, and they can just become they can basically just become the grandfather to all future processing.
Well, you know what? They're gonna have to make a decision soon because what is the CHIPS and the CHIPS Act that in America, they're stuck between a rock and a hard spot right now because certain incentives for them to get, they don't get those if they don't start building, but Intel doesn't have any money to build, so they want to move. They want to move their stuff to America.
I told you what's happening down the street from me.
Oh yeah,
there's a company down the street from me that literally makes the world's largest wafer boards. Period.
Oh yeah,
they have a world record for the largest wafer boards, meaning you can make more chips on one board.
You get more yield. You get a larger yield from.
There's a reason why they're building down the street from me. It's because of the CHIPS Act. So anybody who be hating on, the Kamala Biden train, I want you to understand that I don't know any company that showed up to anywhere around here during Trump that was like, "Hey, we're gonna hire 4,000 people." Didn't see it. Didn't see it. It doesn't exist. Never happened.
Hey, look, regardless of what side of the train tracks that a lot of people like to be on their political side, my thing is
it's common sense at this point.
It's all this stuff is good for the economy. If you don't think the economy is good, that's your bag of tea. My thing is
it's probably more prone to your local area. If your local government is not looking at policies that are being passed and figuring out how to make that bring money to your area, that is neither Trump's nor Biden's fault. That is your local government's fault. That they are not incentivizing corporations to come into your market, especially new innovative ones. If they are not incentivizing and figuring out how to find assets that is useful to these companies, so they will come to you and bring jobs and wealth and because when they come, they bring new builds. So if you live in a market where there's no housing, Well, guess what happens when the company shows up and spends billions and says, we're going to build 200,000 homes on top of that? Guess what happens to the housing market? All the prices come down and the housing availability goes up. All these things go together. So you live somewhere where they are not incentivizing corporations to come in. That's your local government's fault. Doesn't matter who you vote for, you're going to lose. Your local government is trash. Worry about your local government more than you do about how you feel about, racism. Anyway.
But hey, look. Hey, look, I was just saying, the reason why is because Intel is showing that they're getting beat on multiple sides. Like I just saw an article on light reading. I wasn't going to bring it up because it would have been a little bit too nerdy and I would have had to explain too much. But the long and short of it was even NVIDIA is taking the Open RAN side from x86.
Exactly.
They're going all graphics, like all graphics processors. They finding that the Open RAN works better on Intel's architecture than they do x86.
You just said Intel.
Well, Intel did come up with x86.
You said better than x86. Are you confusing yourself now, sir?
No. It's
you said that it run better on Intel than it does x86.
NVIDIA. My bad. I got tongue tied. It's running on NVIDIA better than it is on x86.
I'm the one drinking alcohol, sir. I shouldn't be able to keep my words together.
But no, I'm just saying, like, I just feel like, hey, this is a prime time for Qualcomm just to go ahead and grab the whole x86 and just strangle it in the crib now.
Well, at this point too, though, Qualcomm still has yet to improve itself completely. Their next generation of chips, we don't need a delay. We need this next generation of chips. We need them by May next year.
Ooh.
And if they don't bring, I've already said this, if they don't bring at least 8 teraflops to 9 teraflops to the table in the mobile environment, it's even ARM CPUs are going to be dead on arrival.
Oh no.
They're going to have to bring, like I said, 8 to 9 teraflops on the graphic side.
But Qualcomm is known for these. But Qualcomm is known for these intermittent upgrades.
They can't do that. Remember, they're trying to transform a market, not exist in one.
That's true.
Yeah. The goal is not exist. The goal is transform. We need 8 to 9 teraflop, and that's me being generous because that still puts them behind. And the only reason why they'll win is because of mobility. So we need 8 on the mobile side. We need 8 to 9 teraflop. If they do decide to bring out a desktop class chip, it's going to have to be 14 to 16 teraflop.
I don't know, man.
I got faith.
Hey, look, this is one of those.
They either do it or they die. They either do it or die.
I'm optimistic. I'm more optimistic about 5G Windows than I am Qualcomm coming out with something that's going to blow the socks off of everybody.
I'm not saying optimistic. I'm saying what they're going to have to do if they want to capture that market. They can exist without capturing. They can exist. But is existing good enough for what this article literally says? How do you go to Intel and tell them you're going to take over when Intel today already has embedded integrated graphics that are better than yours?
Ooh, that's a good point.
My point exactly. How are you that cocky? So something tells me that yes, they can choose to do intermittent, but something tells me they already got that 8 to 10 teraflop GPU.
I believe they probably already got something that blows the doors off of what NVIDIA could do, but not maybe out in the server space. But I'm just saying, like, they could really change the market. But this is what I feel. I feel like if Intel is going to be thinking about getting out of the chip making business, but just be a foundry only, this would be the best way for them to do it, and then bow out gracefully. Then they don't have to worry about everything else. All those different things that they've been doing is dying. They don't have to worry about it no more, and then Qualcomm could just be like the juggernaut that it needs to be.
This goes back to, so Intel's biggest issue is not that Intel is a technologically non-advanced company. It's that Intel is being run by older generation of people who are set in their ways. They're set in their ways, and they will be so stubborn. They will allow the market to leave them and then act confused about why it happened when people were ringing the alarms for years. And the day, think about this. Intel is like the fire department that ain't never fought a fire. They keep getting told that there's a daggone fire coming, but they have yet to receive an address.
Oh, okay. No.
The day that the M1 dropped was the day they got an address where the fire was, and they didn't even leave the fire station until Qualcomm dropped.
Which was 4 years later.
There you go.
Man.
That is Intel. Imagine Intel left the fire station when the M1 dropped.
No, they would have a better foothold.
better chance of survival. They would have already said, you know what? We don't have to make 145% profit. We can drop to 60% profit and actually give people better products. Because anybody who knows how chip manufacturing goes, they will make one chip and then they will literally just take the failed chips and make those chips lower tiers. They are not intentionally making better chips and worse chips. They're making one chip and just disabling
the lesser grade chip gets sold off too.
Yeah, they'll go, oh, let's build all these chips to be 16 core. So what happened with that batch? Oh, well, we printed out 1 million, but 250,000 on them, only 80 of the cores work. All right, we'll call that the new 8 core. Hey, what happened with the rest? Oh, well, 100,000 of those. Yeah, 100,000 of those, only 40 cores work. Yeah, make those the i3s. Hey, that's what they've been doing for years.
Yeah, no.
They literally have been binning the best chips, making those the elites, and then just deactivating features in chips and telling you that you're buying a cheap product. You're buying the same product for more money because it didn't happen to fail when they made it.
Yo, you heard about what's been happening to like Intel's new chip line, right? I don't know what lake we're on right now, but what happened is the Intel chips are killing themselves.
Yes, I know.
They're almost self-destructing.
Yep.
Which means that they got to push a software update to keep them from self-destructing. And on top of that, they're extending the warranties for those chips they already put out.
And they're probably making them stop self-destructing by limiting them.
Yes.
They ain't going to tell you that.
Of course not.
That's why I can't wait for them to be sued. I hate Intel, bro, with a vengeance.
Oh, it's bad. It's bad.
I'll be real with you. The only reason why I even respect AMD is because they made a comeback. That's it. That is literally it. If AMD ever made a comeback, I'd have no respect for them. They made a comeback with Ryzen.
AMD, but you know what they did? I think remember you just said that it's about taking AMD decided to go smaller chipsets but bigger but more yield. So that's why everything's in chiplets. So they just build each individual cores, and then they make the what is it called? They make the memory controller separate, and then they put everything on the same die or on the same PCB.
You're kind of on it, but
that's what they kind of did. That's what they kind of did.
Let's just be real. So whether you know it or not, I'm about to fill you in. The chiplet design was not a strategic thing for performance, sir. Chiplet design was solely because it's cheaper.
Well, of course.
All right. It is not a performance decision. Just letting you know. No. So they didn't do that so they could just get more or no. It's
AMD was always playing that game. Like, they will label their processors just a little bit different than what Intel will offer, but then you were getting more how much performance per watt.
We've had this conversation before. The only reason why AMD was ever behind is because they were not putting money in their chips to get cash.
Yes.
You would literally here's what I'm saying. You would literally find Intel dual core chips with more cache than AMD 8-core chips.
Right.
Because cache is the most expensive part of the chip. AMD has always chased price. The biggest benefit of chiplet is not performance, it is cost.
Price.
Yes. Now, with that said, if you stack a crap ton of cheap triplets together, you might happen to have a side effect of performance. What was AMD doing? Stacking the crap out of triplets to make performance, which is why their die size is so big.
Hey.
Have you seen their die size?
Yeah. Hey, what is it? The Threadripper is huge.
Huge. Yeah.
The Threadripper is huge.
Yeah. Now, with that being said, they also started adding some cache to these chips. So,
but hey, look, I'm just saying, like, what is it? Even in this article, they said that Intel missed out on even the PlayStation 6 development because they're that far behind.
No, it's because of price, not because of how far behind they are. You're wrong. Show me where it says that at. Read that to me. Where it
I'm
says
not going to say far behind in development. What I'm saying, it's going to be price.
It was price.
Hold on, where is that?
It was not how behind they are in tech. It was price. They got outbid on price versus the performance. Basically, for Intel to get the equivalent performance that AMD was offering, it cost more. That's all. That was it.
Right.
That was it. Intel
What's up, Brandon?
Intel's trying to overcharge like they always do.
Hey, Brandon, what do you know what processor is inside of your laptop at home?
An i5.
What? No,
Core i5.
Specific. i5 what?
5th gen or 7th gen.
No. I want the actual SKU. Come on, be a real nerd, Brandon, for a change in your life.
Hey man, he's only a nerd on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
For example, my studio PC is a 10750H. My mobile yoga is a 5600U. I actually know the SKU. What SKU you got, Brandon? So we can judge you now, like some real nerds. Now And you said what gen?
You said 7th gen.
That shit old, bro.
Yeah,
brother, we're gonna need you knock the dust off that thing. Take it back to Costco. Tell him he's gonna got that good warranty. Tell him it failed.
I'm thinking about it.
Died.
I can send you a USB killer.
No, don't do that to him.
I bet it ain't no 5th gen. His laptop ain't that old. He exaggerated.
No, he probably got a 10th gen.
No radio. I think it's a 7th. Yeah, it's a 7th gen.
Really, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah, Brandon.
Wait. If he's rocking a 7th gen, that means that yours was on your Windows was it wasn't 11. You was probably rocking 7.
Yeah. When you
had to be rocking 7 and upgraded to Windows 11.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Did you buy? Here you go. Did you buy your computer?
Wait, it was in 2017.
Then that's probably a 10th gen.
That makes more sense. No, Nokia.
No radio. It's a 8250U.
Reader John, he said LOL.
All righty. So, yeah, it ain't no 7th gen, sir.
No, it's not a 7th gen. It's a. I know it's an i5.
Right, but what I'm saying is,
wait.
Did
I'm sorry. It's an 8th gen. I'm literally looking at the sticker on it now.
Yeah, it's 8th gen. 2017. Yeah, 8th gen.
Yeah.
Let's say 5th gen. What for 7th gen? What, Brandon, really? I got a 7th gen.
That means you upgraded from Windows 7.
No, it was Windows.
What, Windows 10?
Yeah, it was Windows 10. Because I remember I had gotten a Windows 8 laptop, and that was the worst.
Huh.
Yeah, Windows 10 came out in 2015, Ken.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man.
So even Brendan's ancient CPU, let's just having fun with it. Even it had
Literally.
6 megs of cache. Okay.
Ooh.
Look, that's not dirty. It's not dirty. It's not a dirty word, sir. So I'm here to tell you that if you got at least 4 megs of cache, you're doing something.
That's true.
Just telling you,
True.
you got at least 3 to 4, you're doing something. If we compare that to AMD's, like 10 core chips from the same year, it is not pretty. It is not
They were
pretty.
doing like 1 or 2. They were doing like 1 or 2 at that point.
Bruh, they would cheap it out like a mug on cash. That's all I'm trying to tell you.
Dang.
Let's look at their top of the line in 2017. Oh God, this is about to be embarrassing for them.
Embarrassing.
Embarrassing, as my teenage daughters like to say. All right. So the first Ryzen's came out that same year.
Okay.
Same year. The previous before that, we had Bobcat, Jaguar, and Puma. Anybody who knows the
Oh
chip,
Lord,
you know
those
the
were oh
Jaguar,
God.
PS4. A PS4 is a Jaguar. The PS4 was based on an AMD A6 processor, by the way. But with 8 cores, if I'm not mistaken. What's that?
I remember I had an AMD second generation on a Windows Vista. It was the worst.
Yeah. So check this out, Kia.
It was
Before
probably
Zen
Athlon.
released, the AMD Puma family had 1 to 2 megs max of cache.
Dagger. Oh, dagger.
Just 1
Dagger.
year before 1 year before Brandon's 6 meg of cache. The Jaguar series was also 1 to 2 meg max of cache. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Just sad.
Hey, well, cash is king.
Cache is king. And it costs. Why do you think all the new Qualcomm chips drop with 32 megs of cache?
Yeah.
Because they had to play with Apple. They had to go play with Apple. And Apple been paying cache. Everybody else
Brandon,
been adding feeding cores. Apple was adding cache.
Hey, Brandon, it's time for you to upgrade your computer, man. Go get a Qualcomm one.
He's doing basic stuff with his. He's okay.
Hey, no, I want to though, but
well, he wants to, but he don't need to.
No, radio. I'm not gonna. No, like I want to because the thing only does like 300 or 400 megs on Wi-Fi.
Well, that has nothing to do with the CPU, though.
No, that's just have to do everything with what generation.
That has everything to do with him buying a laptop with crappy Wi-Fi because they had good Wi-Fi chips in that year.
Oh no!
Your cable modem is doing way better than that.
Wi-Fi 5 was already doing 600 or 700 that same year.
No, radio, because my thing caps out at 433.
That's cool, but Wi-Fi 5 was already faster that year.
But I'm not gonna lie to you, radio. This laptop has actually been really good to me because the average only lasts like 3 or 4 years.
That ain't true either.
No, they could last a lot longer.
The truth is this, right? The better you buy, the longer it lasts. Period.
No, you're right. Absolutely.
If you buy an i7, it's going to last you way longer than an i3 or i5.
Yeah.
And the truth is this. This is my problem, right? People would literally buy an for example, they will buy an i7 in 2015, right? And then like 6 years later, they will buy a newer i5, not realizing it's the same performance as their old i7. That's all I'm saying. That literally happens. It happens to someone I love dearly. They literally bought a newer machine that literally benchmarks the same as their old one, and they thought simply because it was newer that it was better.
They didn't know better, sir. They didn't know better.
What I'm saying is a lot of times whatever the plateau was for i7 in 2015 is now the plateau for i3.
No, but no, Reddit, if you buy them cheap Walmart laptops, then things are only last you 2 or 3 years.
No, you're wrong. It depends on the chip.
Budget ones.
The chip that you get in the. For example, my mother-in-law bought a literal off-brand laptop from Walmart. Care to guess what chip it had in it?
The Intel, the P1.
No, a Ryzen freaking 5.
Oh wow.
$380 came with a Ryzen 5 in it.
Hey! I would like to say,
I'm just saying.
I would like to say
It's the
that, hey,
thing.
my,
You know
I
why
would
she
like to
bought
say
that one? Because
my,
I made her buy it, not because she just got it. I knew how to shop. I looked at specs, and I was like, "Oh,
hey,
that's
I
a
would like to
deal."
say, I would like to say that my no-name Chromebook lasted for at least 7 years.
Yeah, you a lie. That thing was outdated the day you bought it home. Matter of fact, it was outdated before you even walked out of the sliding doors at Best Buy or Walmart.
I bought it online. They shipped it to
It
me.
was outdated before they put the tape on the cardboard. Move on, sir. Move along with that crap.
No,
Hey, man, I'm just saying.
Look, right now, look this out, Brandon. You go to Walmart right now. You get an Ideal Pad with a Ryzen 5 7520U for $349.
and then the Chromebooks are literally Goodwill specs.
Hey, man, but they last though. They last.
But watch what happens.
They last a long time.
If I put a price lock on this and we compare the Intel to the AMD in the same price range,
Mm-hmm.
for Intel, check this out. You get the Lenovo with the AMD, you get a Ryzen 5 7520U, 8 gigs RAM, 256. Guess what you get in the Intel side? It costs $10 more and you get a Celeron.
Ooh.
See my point?
Reader John says his 2014 iMac is now dying.
Now, it's been 10 years.
Hey.
Now, is it dying like literally or like dying because it's like so slow and painful to use? Which one is it? We need to know.
It's so slow and painful to use.
I
bet that's what it is.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
I bet that's what it is.
If it is, it's because he broke it. You know how I know why I say that? I literally went to $100,000+ music studio who is still running a G4, and that thing was cooking in the music studio. With a G4, it was cooking. Homeboy,
but here's the thing,
in 33 seconds.
But here's the thing: if you don't update it, and you only use it for just the one thing. But if you're constantly trying to put new software on, and the software requirements change.
Describe what I literally just said. I said, is it actually dying or is it painfully slow?
Yeah, he's probably painfully slow for him.
I don't. Painfully slow. It depends on what he's doing. Okay, if he's video editing, yes. Painfully slow. If he's browsing the web, no. If he's word processing, no.
You know what they're gonna do. You know what the first thing they're gonna end up doing. They're gonna make Safari run slower because you're constantly they want you to upgrade.
What's that thing got in it, Rick John? Intel 7200 series. Yeah, I'm letting my nerd
He said slow and painful.
It's slow and painful. Which chipset is it? Specifically, bro, I want to know.
A 2014.
He said 2014 MacBook Pro.
2014 iMac, I think.
Oh, he said iMac. I'm sorry, I thought it was a MacBook.
No, 2014 iMac. Which the iMacs were those just big old screens with the computer built in.
Yeah, so those were 1.4 gigahertz.
Ooh,
I'd be dying too. I wouldn't have bought it. I'm sorry, Reach. No. But real talk though, it depends on what he's doing with it. If he just browses the web and it's that slow, it ain't because of the computer. There's something else wrong. Somebody already debunked this, by the way. I've already seen YouTubers take like old 2012 MacBooks and they were completely usable and not painfully slow. So he's 2014. If he's painfully slow, he's got other problems.
I mean, look, you know that loading, you might end up loading like software on and different things could be slowing it down. Some software that's running in the background is eating up clocks.
Yeah, but that's no different than a Windows PC, right? If the average person I meet can have a great machine and it still be running slow because they don't know how to manage their computer. They don't know how to make sure they don't have like 16,000 bloatwares running.
Hey, Reader John could be a power user, man. He could have 25, 30 tabs open.
Hey, I'm just telling you, if he's running 25, 30 tabs back in 2014, I don't believe that. But if he's trying to if he's trying to run it like it's a brand new machine, of course it's dying. But if he's doing the same activities he was 2014, i.e., my mother, he wouldn't have no problems. The average user is not having problems with those old ass crappy machines.
True.
As much as we don't love those machines, the i5 4260U was not a terrible processor.
True. Yo, so hey, Brandon, before Brandon dips off again, man, your favorite restaurant is creating jobs, sir.
Ooh, Chipotle?
Oh, they need to go and screw themselves.
Hold on a second.
All right.
So McDonald's put in these touch screens. So McDonald's put in these touch screens, and all of a sudden they found something surprising, that more people are ordering more food, which is creating more jobs. But the touchscreen kiosks have a tendency to make you buy more because you have all these options at your fingertips, and you have a tendency to kind of be like, maybe I do need that extra fry and a milkshake. But other thing, now it's pushing all those people that were cashiers. Everybody's in the kitchen cooking.
Here's the thing, Edmund. Here's what they're doing. They're using the kiosks more because they're trying to order more things off the deals thing.
Look, McDonald's is no longer a deal, dog. McDonald's is convenient.
I'm talking
it's convenient. There's no deals left.
I can literally take my family and I have a steak. My wife have like some random type of pasta or something, and my kids order what they want at a sit-down dine-in restaurant, and it's cheaper than McDonald's.
Yeah, McDonald's is not cheap no more, dog. The dollar menu's dead.
I can literally get a steak dinner and a beer with my family and be like maybe $10 more at McDonald's.
Yo.
Not including tip, but
yo, understand. So it's cheaper for me to eat at 7-Eleven than it is McDonald's now.
I don't think that's a brag.
No, but it has to be a brag, because that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying that look, but the thing is because everything is touchscreen, people are ordering even more food. They've gotten to the place where
the truth is old people don't want to use a touchscreen. I literally see it. They don't want to use a touchscreen to the point that they literally.
To the front.
But here's the funny part, right? I literally get my stuff and I'm gone, and they still waiting on somebody to help them. It's embarrassing, as my daughter would say. And I can see they be looking at me like I'm crazy. They be like, "This little young whippersnapper got his food already."
Hey, look, Mario, I have gone in and I've ordered at the kiosk, and the what is it? Uber Eats and DoorDash orders
like
are done faster.
Oh, not here. Not here,
Yo,
they don't. They be waiting, bro. They be mad, bro. They be so mad at McDonald's.
Bro, yo, I just say here.
I'm gonna tell you why they be mad. They be mad because McDonald's keep missing the order up.
You gotta check behind them.
Edmund, here's the thing. The people that are ordering those on those machines are literally people that want discounts. You can't get discounts from the person that is at the register.
What discounts are you getting?
I'm not gonna wait for somebody to come back to the register. That's why I do it.
Yeah.
Hey, I do it because
they don't stand at the register. They disappear into the back.
Yes.
Because you know how because you know what culture is in the world. They're like, well, if no one's there, you should be doing this. They say, the guy who's supposed to take orders is over here taking out trash. He's refilling the cups for the machine. Meanwhile, there's like 3 old senior citizens standing there about to die before they get their food.
Can I get some help?
On the kiosk. And then what's crazy? When they come back, look, I ordered already, and they come back to the counter and they look at me and go, "Can I help you?" So I'm like, "I ordered already." Oh.
Can I get some help, you little guy, please?
I'm at a point where I'm just like, shoot, just put it like a chute on the side of the building and let me get my shit there. Like I don't care.
Hey, look, Rita John, I know it's bad for me, man, but it's a death by either not doing or doing. That's how I look at it.
You said what?
So I can do something better. Yeah, he said that stuff is bad for you, bro.
Yeah, I had to know what I ate tonight for dinner.
What you eat?
My wife cut up a whole chicken and she seasoned it up and she put that red sauce in there and she wrapped it in banana leaf and she steamed it in a big ass pot. Brandon know what I'm talking about. Barbacoa. Or however you pronounce it.
I don't like barbacoa.
Oh, you ain't had my wife's then, big dog. I'm trying to tell you. I know you don't like mole. I don't like mole.
You meant tinga?
It's similar to mole, but it ain't mole. The way she makes it.
I do not like mole.
I don't like mole neither, but this is fire. I'm here to tell you, bruh.
Hot like fire. Hot like fire.
She make the white rice with the jalapeno vinegar.
Man, I don't even know none of that stuff. What that is?
See, that's real food.
Look,
and then my wife took the masa and made homemade.
Brandon.
Sorry, so I said tamales. I'm just she made homemade tortillas with the masa.
Yes, sir.
Don't play that. Don't play that, sir. Don't play that.
That's why I don't be eating McDonald's, because I got real food at home.
Man, you know what's so sad on radio is a lot of people don't like to cook.
Hey, I can't be.
But a lot of people are always on the go too. So we spend less time at home than we do out and about.
But freaking fast food has gotten so old. Like after you eat the same freaking fast food so many times, like don't it get old?
Yes, it does.
Radio, what I'm saying is a lot of people don't even like to cook anymore.
And they also don't like to live because they're gonna die eating that cancer at McDonald's. That's all I'm saying. They don't like leaving neither.
Oh man.
Here you go.
No,
Brandon.
but no radio was talking about
dinner.
No, but no radio was talking about something that kind of caught my
dinner.
Oh yeah, that looks good.
And it looked, hey, I got a whole steamed pot of it. She wrapped it in the banana leaves and cooked it slow. Ooh,
it looked good.
No radio, but there's a lot of people
melt in your mouth faster than a Diddy drug slip. Okay.
Oh gosh! Wow. I was wondering how long we were gonna go before it popped up.
And she made homemade tortillas, Brandon.
Flour corn,
sir. Press them things out, throw them on that pan, and let them puff up.
No radio. I'm gonna be real with you.
Jim, I agree with you. The man can eat good in the neighborhood, man.
No radio. You know what meat I can't stand?
What
is birria?
I don't even know what that is, big dog.
I don't know what that is either.
It's like barbacoa, but I feel like it's the same thing, but for some reason, like birria is like soggy ass meat.
Oh no, I can't do soggy. No.
Yeah, I hate.
So that's what my relationship is with tamales. I feel like tamales be soggy.
Okay, I can eat soggy tamales, but I can't.
See?
Like that.
I do that for a reason.
Hey,
he's gonna take it back. He's like, wait a minute, I like tamales.
So y'all are here talking about food. I have no idea.
You know what I like though, Brandon? I like when the next day you fry the tamale.
Oh, I can't.
Oh, man.
I'd rather have soggy McDonald's fries.
No, man.
Wow.
Somebody don't love you that be fried tamale. They don't love you.
But on radio, it's crazy because Mexicans love that shit with coffee.
Oh no, I don't drink coffee to begin with, so that's a whole nother thing. I can tolerate coffee, and there has been times where I have enjoyed a nice cup of coffee, but coffee ain't for me. I'm already on cloud 9, and I don't need no help waking up. I'm the opposite. I don't need to wake up. I need to stay up.
No radio.
I need to stay awake. I need to stay awake.
I don't need to wake up, but I need to stay up. See, I get up just fine. It's just later on I want to stay up longer. To me, coffee drinkers go to bed early, wake up late. That's coffee drinkers. I go to bed late, wake up early. I'm the other way around.
No radio. There was something you brought up earlier talking about the 5G and all that stuff. a lot of people aren't excited anymore because it's been a thing already for 5 years.
Yeah, there's nothing to it anymore. So like,
Well,
It
hey,
is boring.
boring, man.
we were promised 5Gs,
No.
helping people in Boulder, like that disaster zone 5G helping, doing surgeries on 5G and all this other
on
stuff.
fiber.
If that's what you cared about, you are totally opposite of me. I cared nothing about any of that crap.
Look, man,
In
I
fact,
think
we had a podcast not long ago, and I literally said it. I said, if you are waiting for 5G to be used on surgeries, you're the reason for stupidity. I said it a long time ago. Everybody who knew anything about tech knew that was BS.
no, they had to add something, man. You know how you try to sell water to a well, and you're like, yo, but isn't that crystal clear water from Lake Minnetonka?
You know how much value they had? They had about as much value as Trump saying they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats.
Oh
That's how much
Lord!
value it had. It was propaganda just to make people go, "Oh, look over there."
It's the 5Gs.
But you know what's so crazy, Edmund? One thing that LTE and 5G have in common:
What's that?
video is still capped on almost every plan,
Damn right.
I agree.
and people don't notice a difference.
All right, I want to give Brandon the award of the night for the most poignant statement. Keon, put your hands together.
Clap. I don't have the clapping sound.
I don't want to hear you
No,
clap your
and
hands, Mitchell. Clap your hands.
No, I mean, I went to go and see the Fold 6 at the Samsung store on Friday,
And how
Uh-huh.
excited were you?
and it doesn't turn me on. The thing that probably turns me on more is the S24.
See? So Keon,
I don't like
iPhone man
I
just
don't like
told
a
you
screen.
that he did not reject Android. He rejected the folding Android.
Look, I understand something. I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna hand him a folding phone with an Apple logo stuck to the back and see how he feels
People
in.
don't want a folder phone.
We're gonna get Brandon another hand. He did it again. Brandon, you are shooting from the hip, and you have shot Keon between the eyes twice in less than 30 seconds.
No, but like people don't want a wallet phone.
They don't want a phone that big, bro. And they want a phone that they can have a big screen and still be one hand operational. That's the biggest issue with the phone.
So basically, the phone could grow 7 inches, but after like 7.2, like you probably already need 2 hands at that point.
Yes.
Hey,
exactly.
look, I gotta use 2 hands every time I use my iPhone.
Well,
Because I'm right-handed. Look, because I'm
But
right-handed.
I'm saying like
I use my
with
phone. I
two
use my
hands.
phone with my left hand. Guess what? The back button is at the top to the left.
That is
Or
annoying.
you must have some Shiba hands.
I agree. That is annoying, Keon. I agree.
That is
Still
super annoying.
Still better than fold in either position.
I can use my folding phone in one hand. Just like that.
That's because of gestures, not because of form factor.
Hey.
But even then, Edmund, you don't feel comfortable holding it with one hand.
So basically, what you just proved is that Apple needs to fix their gestures. I've been saying that for 3 years. The worst part of using an iPhone is their lack of gestures, of complex gestures. That's the worst part. If Apple literally made like the smallest tweaks to their gestures, there'd almost be nothing left to complain about.
I agree.
Certain those apps that require you to get that top corner, they need to get rid of that crap and they need to do universal back. Simple.
I agree.
You don't need to change the form factor or make a 7-inch or 8-inch screen to do it. Just add more gestures and voila, Apple will fix a lot of their issues.
Yo. Since I got No Radio and Brandon that was getting ready to clown me for this last subject,
you're gonna do it anyway.
Oh no, I know you're going to. I do this because I intend for you to do it.
Okay, just for that, I'm gonna agree with whatever I see, regardless of how.
That's a lie, because you can't help it. You can't help yourself.
Hit me with a good time, sir.
So here you go.
There better not be no electricity involved.
Let me guess. It's gonna be an electric car.
You didn't, Skippy.
Good night, Keon.
Oh,
been real.
Oh,
I will
man.
see you when that car stops, when that car gets a full charge, which is forever from now.
Man, y'all ain't right. All right, so here, new studies come out saying stop worrying about EV battery failure
Why? Get to the point.
because the batteries are lasting longer.
I don't care about longer. I want to know solid numbers.
That's
sir.
what Apple users said,
All
sir.
I'm saying is this. All I'm saying is this. One of my, family members, they have a car from 1972, original engine. Can you make your battery last that long? 40 plus years?
That we don't know yet because the technology hasn't been out for 40 years.
Conversation.
The technology hasn't been out for 40 years yet.
And you can't make it past 10 on average. Let's just be real.
Well, they're right here talking about 20.
They're talking about likely, no proof.
No proof yet.
You go.
I mean, hey, look, do we have to travel into the future to find out whether or not?
You're telling me to buy it on a maybe. That's retarded.
Well, hey, look, they're getting to the place. They're getting to the place where they're putting.
Or in Los Angeles, and I roll up on a prostitute and go, "Hey, what it is for me to hit it?" And then she goes, "Hey, if you give me $100, I might let you hit it."
Oh no.
Is my point exactly. I ain't got time for him. So I tell you,
what would be a
20 years from now, we'll have this conversation.
What's up, Brandon?
If you literally had your car in the garage and you forgot to charge it that same night, and the next morning you wake up for work and you barely have any juice.
Not to mention your favorite YouTuber, Rich Rebuilds, had that freaking car, that Ocean.
The fish girl, man, that thing was a hot garbage.
But it goes back to a car that literally would not charge because it wasn't charged. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. I won't charge because I'm not charged. Come on now.
I know what you're talking about. Hey, I watched that same video.
And
hey, look,
who early adopted those cars, what happened to them? They got screwed.
Hey, he got a $60,000 car for $10,000.
You're wrong, sir.
Well, yeah, he paid $10,000 for it.
You're wrong.
What?
He got a $1,000 car for $10,000 because the car ain't worth crap if you can't even get parts for it because the company don't exist anymore. That means even when his battery does fail, he can't get one. That makes the car worth even less. You have to deduct what the battery costs now from the car as well.
Well, he got it running. He got it running.
But when it fails, he can't replace it. That matters. See, future value has a place in the market. If I go out today, right, and say I buy a limited edition Mustang with a 6-speed transmission supercharger, right? In 30 years from now, that will be a collector item that as long as I maintain it will still be running.
It's the same thing about the DeLorean. Hey, support for the DeLorean didn't start coming about 10 or 15 years ago.
There is no real market for DeLoreans that exist. They don't exist.
But support for the DeLorean didn't show up until like 10 or 15 years ago.
Okay, go to AutoZone and get a part, my nigga.
You can.
Good.
I know you can.
Then you can't say it's supported.
There's a small group of people that still.
No, that's not the same thing. When we talk about support, this is come from a guy who went to school to be a mechanic. When something is supported, I can readily get parts same day or at most 3 days. DeLoreans, there's no world where you can get parts for DeLorean same day. Doesn't exist. There's still no support. A part existing is not the same thing as being supported in the automotive world. Supported is a person owns a DeLorean, they can show it to a mechanic shop and reasonably get their car back in less than a week. It doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. Doesn't exist. If I got a special order and wait for some specialty company to specially make the part, that ain't support.
No, I understand that.
This is not reserved for just DeLoreans. This applies to Ferrari, Lamborghini, Land Rover. It applies to a bunch of other brands who are not out of business. You still can't readily get parts for these vehicles. If you buy a
Because
Land Rover,
those vehicles that you just said are like it's 6 figures just to work on them.
Land Rover, you can get a Land Rover for like 90 G's, but if the idler control valve goes out, you got a $4,000 price tag and a 2-week wait for the part. That ain't support.
That's not support at all.
That's what I'm talking about, bro. So, no.
Look, I'm just saying, like, hey, Rich went up there and he bought a vehicle knowing that if something happens to that battery,
he's a
he's
YouTuber.
screwed.
No
Right.
regular person would ever do this, which is why it's not reasonable to say that he actually got a deal. He literally bought debt. He bought something that is guaranteed to fail without any way to unfail it. That's what I'm pointing out. You remember how you like to say that's future Keon's problem. When you say that, you are literally saying there is no way out of this without failure when you say that. And that is the same as that car. He did not get a deal on that car.
Right.
You know,
But,
he got a deal on YouTube content, not on the car. Because now he gets to test the car and talk about the car without having paid full price for it. His deal was in his YouTube video, but not in the literal ownership of said vehicle.
I mean, what? It's $10,000. You get $10,000 worth of content out of it.
He won't. He won't because YouTube don't pay like that. YouTube don't pay
You're killing my hopes and dreams, man. Don't kill my hopes.
I told you about that dream and stuff.
Look. I'm just saying that everybody. Look, I've talked to you. I've talked to other people about this. Everybody says battery failure and being settled with a battery that's going to be like basically your car becomes a dead weight. These new chemistries that's coming out. The batteries have been evolving. They're getting better. The thermal management systems are keeping the batteries alive longer. Like all these different things are getting better across the board. So in turn, the batteries are lasting longer. And therefore, it gets rid of that mantra that everybody keeps saying, which is, oh, it's going to die after 2, 3, 4 years. And I'm like, hey, they're talking about, what was it? CTL, the company in China that's doing batteries. They're talking about putting a 20-year warranty on batteries. 20 years.
Talking about, not doing.
No, that's what they say they're going to start doing next. Because the batteries are lasting that long.
Wait, when it happens, I don't care. Until then, it's irrelevant.
Oh, man.
See, you love speculation. You don't care about like actual facts.
Oh, no, I care about the facts.
Until that guy shows up at 19 years and 11 months and gets the new battery, it's irrelevant to say they're talking about doing it.
Because the batteries are showing that they can last longer.
I didn't ask you why. I said, are they? See, you're arguing why.
Not yet.
I don't care about what. There you go. That's all I'm saying.
But, no, I'm just saying that.
I'm going to tell you like this. If Toyota came out next year and they said, y'all check this out. We got this battery tech so down. We're going to offer 20-year warranties on our batteries on all our EVs. Do you know why that will never happen?
No, because a lot of people don't keep their vehicles longer than 10 years.
You're wrong. I said, do you know why that'll never happen?
Why?
Because it's already been proven that Toyotas last over 20 years and they still don't warranty their damn cars that long.
That's true.
My point exactly. Why in the world would proving something can last influence its warranty when we already have proven that Toyotas can last that, yet they still don't offer those warranties on their existing proven technology?
Because when you you end up asking people in a survey, hey, what's one of your apprehensions about EVs? They say that all everybody says is the battery.
You're telling me this. Toyota has proven engines that can last over 20 years that they don't warranty for 20 years, but they're going to, just because they can trick people into buying a car, decide to offer 20-year warranties on less reliable, unproven vehicles.
I don't think that nobody's going to offer a 20-year warranty.
My point exactly.
But what I'm saying is they'll offer.
Here's the truth. Whether you like it or not, the most you're getting is 60,000 miles, an extended warranty, 100,000 miles. I don't care what it is. I don't care if they can prove that battery lasts 100 years. They still ain't gonna warranty that crap past 100,000 miles.
I agree.
And that's my point. So talking about a battery might last 20 years is irrelevant when the warranty will never match that promise. That's what I'm saying.
But then here's the thing: how do you change people's perception?
You
Like,
don't because we
because
live
here's the
in
thing.
reality.
If you because if you
anime world, we live in reality.
First of all, don't talk about my anime, sir.
Hey, we
Don't
live
talk
in
about my
reality.
anime.
Look, we use history to make I use history to make my points, not my dreams. I don't make points based on what I dream or what I feel. I make it based on history. And history tells us that even in any industry, when you can prove a product can last 20 years, they still don't
warranty it for 20 years. I know that.
They
I know
won't
that.
do it for EVs. So simply stating that it is a possibility that your battery will last 20 years does not change the fact that these companies are only going to warranty them for 60 to 100,000 miles. Period.
Right.
That's it.
What I'm saying is if you come out and say, hey, look, these batteries are going to be last a lot longer.
You're gonna lie to a whole lot of people, and you're gonna turn them all against you in about 5 years. That's what's going to happen.
Why would you say 5 years?
Because you're going to be wrong about your 20-year battery life. That's why.
I could be wrong about a lot of things.
You know how we know? You know how you're going? We know how we know you're going to be wrong. Because there is no such thing as a 20-year EV battery surviving. It doesn't exist.
No,
there is no EV.
There's no EV
that has a 20-year-old battery that is still kicking, sir. So
no,
that's my point.
But what I'm saying is the new chemistries of today are showing that they can get longer battery life out of them. But the question at hand is this: if people are saying that they don't want to buy EVs because they're afraid of the battery dying on them, but batteries are getting longer and longer, not warranties, but longer battery life out of them. I mean, it's the same thing. Like if I go into Toyota right now and I get the standard warranty, yeah, there's a chance of it going 20 years of me just basic driving it. But I can also, as soon as the warranty goes, the engine can die. Right? That's all I'm saying is I've just seen where you can get a hit or miss. No matter how much you try to take care of something, hey, things die. Things can crop out. Maybe you got the one that has a chip in it. We don't know. I'm just saying along the lines of that, hey, if people's perception of, it dies in 2, 3, 4 years starts changing, people will start gravitating more towards EVs. That's all I'm saying. So I don't know if No Radio dropped off, but Jim says, now he's probably talking about me, but he's saying he's not wrong. The new EV batteries out there, they can last. So I'm just saying that in this article, they are basically saying that, hey, what are some of the biggest pain points across the board for people? And one of them at 24% is worrying about the battery. The next one is lack of charging stations at 23%. So the two biggest ones is batteries and charging. And I know what the other one is people fear that they're going to get to the destination or where they got to be at, and the charging doesn't even work. So reliability on charging is probably right up there. So you start getting into what I call the you got to solve the pain points of the industry, and these are pain points. And I think that they're working on those pain points. I think that the early days of batteries, that when they came out, they had a bad mantra of, they cost 20 grand. Nobody wanted that. But now, what is it? A new engine can run you 10. So if a battery runs you 12, it's right there in the same.
Keon, you're full of it.
I am not.
All right. Give me the regular passenger car that has a $10,000 engine, sir. Give it to me. You said it. Prove it.
Well, I don't know because I haven't
Then why you
replaced
say
engines.
it? That's my point.
Hey,
That's
hey,
my
hey, hey.
point. Why did you say it? Why did you even say it? That's the
I
problem. You
I
sound
said
like
it
Trump right
because
now. You should be saying stuff without knowing.
look, I said it because within the article they said that the average price was between like three to like 3 to 10,000, depending on the vehicle.
Oh, so you
So-
picked the highest number as your average.
Well, I said that. Well, hey, it's the same exact reason why you say, hey,
No,
the battery's
no.
gonna die and it's gonna cost you
No,
20 grand.
No.
Not
That's-
every
no.
battery's gonna cost you
You know
20
why?
grand.
Because Tesla owners with failed batteries, that is actually the average, not my made up number. That is actually what they got on their invoices for the repair costs, sir, in their quotes. That is not me picking the highest number. That is the average. And
But see, underneath other automakers, it's not 20 grand. It's other. Some of them are lower.
First of all, name the other automaker that has a major EV footprint in America.
I like how you said that, sir. You evil bastard.
Not
I was
evil,
gonna
I'm just real.
I was
You be
gonna say.
tripping.
I
Bro,
was gonna say
Why
BYD.
are you making me into like anti? Look, you're making me become anti EV like MAGA because of how you be like doing what you do, bro. I'm just saying.
I was gonna hit you with the BYD from China, but you said in America. You made
No,
sure you added that
that's what
staple.
matters.
You
Check this
made
out.
sure you added that staple at the back end of
2024,
it.
The average engine can be replaced for $1,500 to $4,000, not $10,000, sir.
Yes.
You can get a short or long block for pretty much any 4-cylinder car for under $2,000. Period. Toyota, Honda, Chevrolet, Ford, don't matter. You can get the average long block for under $2 grand. You only get to the $4,000 range when you start talking V8s for long blocks. Anybody who doesn't know the difference between a long block and a short block? Long block has heads. Short blocks only has the block because that's typically what would fail, and the heads are typically salvageable with new valves and springs. And a trip to a machine shop, and you can get both heads completely redone for about $50 each at a machine shop. Woohoo! So you get your short block for $3 grand. You spend $200 at the machine shop. You got a whole new V8 for $3,200, sir.
No, I'm saying.
Just saying. That's a far cry from EV cars.
Hey! And the way that you feel about engines is the same exact way I feel about these batteries.
Except you don't be knowing about your battery costs.
And I'm saying to you right now, the average owner of cars, they only stay in the cars for barely 10 years. So if the battery lasts the length of the car, the lifespan of that person, then it's already going farther.
Who buys the majority of cars?
People buy more used cars than they do new.
I said, who buys the majority of cars? Buys. I didn't say lease. I said buys.
Fleet.
No, you're wrong.
Oh.
Poor people buy cars more. Rich people lease.
That's true.
So the people who could afford the $20,000 battery don't buy cars to begin with. They lease them. Poor people buy cars and try to make them last forever. That's why if you go to a poor society, they like to brag about how long they've had a car.
That's true.
See?
That's true. That's true. That's true.
That's all I'm saying.
I've had Betsy for 30 years.
There you go. Rich people don't brag about how long they've had a car.
No, they don't.
They typically lease vehicles, meaning they don't have to fix them anyway. They get the car back before it ever has any real failures. And the majority of the used market is those leased vehicles from rich people that have been brought back.
No, I understand.
So when a rich person leases a Tesla, they don't care about the battery. But when the poor lady whose two options were, okay, I can finally afford a new car,
and they go get it from Hertz.
The Model 3 and the Camry with the highest package are about the same. I think I want to go future and get the EV. She doesn't realize that the Camry would have gave her 20 years, and that EV with the smallest failure would be done for her in less than 10.
True.
That is the problem.
So what you're saying is we're never going to change this mantra, huh?
I didn't say never. I'm saying that we need proof of a 20-year EV before you.
But then you have to wait 20 years.
Well, no,
you have to wait 20 years to be able to find out.
How do you think people found out whether a Ford or a Chevy was good? They didn't find out in the first 2 years, fool. That let them make them cars for a good 20, 30 years first. That's just what it is.
So let me ask this question then. So are you saying that
and hope that it works out? Most people can't afford to jump out on a limb and hope it works out. They can't do it. That's all I'm saying. They can't do that, especially in the market we're in, right? We're in a price conscious market where people are having to go. People who don't make absorbent amount of monies are having to really think about their choices. That is the reason why Toyotas and Hondas are flying off the lots.
Mm-hmm.
And then the leftover people who couldn't afford a Toyota and a Honda are flying. They're flying Hondas and Kias off the lot.
Yo, them Kias is going fast.
If I only paid $12,000 for my piece of crap Kia, at least my feelings ain't that hurt when it breaks in 3 years. Versus me spending $50,000 on an EV and end up with a $10,000 repair bill 4 years later. All I'm saying, bro.
I agree. I'm just saying, like, you know, you're at what they call the where the technology hasn't fully proven itself.
Cars last longer than horses too, by the way. That's why they beat horses. They prove they can last longer than a horse, and that's why they beat horses.
You know. Hey, look, when you got to constantly reshoe a horse, man, that gets kind of very cumbersome.
More to it than the shoes.
Oh no, you got to keep it fed, keep it warm. You got to do all the stuff.
All right, give me a
for
random gasoline powered vehicle. I just want one, just for scientific purposes. Give me one. Give me a year, make, model, random gas powered vehicle that an average American would buy. That means they make $20 an hour or less.
The Kia Soul.
All right. What year?
2020 Kia Soul.
Right. A 2020 Kia Soul. Let's see here. Let's play the game. How much do you think it costs to buy a brand new 2020 Kia Soul in 2020?
It probably was $25,000.
All right, let's look it up.
Oh, while you're doing that, Jim just said that does no radio know that the Tesla comes with a $120K and 7-year warranty?
That ain't 20 years. That ain't 20 years is my point. The Toyota don't come with it and will outlast your Tesla. That is the argument I'm making. That is the argument I'm making. It can come with a $120K warranty, and the Toyota's still going to outlast it and cost less. And it's going to cost less money.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. And when it breaks, it don't cost 10, 15, 20 G's to fix it. It costs $3,000 or $4,000. That's the argument. Warranty, what I'm saying is this. There are companies that don't make those promises and over-deliver. Tesla won't make those promises ever. They will never promise you 20 years. You mark my word. And if Tesla does, I put it like this, Keon. If Tesla gives out even a 15-year warranty, I will buy it as my next car.
Oh.
It hurts me to say it because I know that my sound system ain't going to work out. My sound system is going to destroy that battery. I'm going to install 5,000 watts of audio in there, and that battery going to kill itself as soon as it can.
Man.
Yep. And
that
warranty for real.
First of all, we all know that the company's never going to do that because guess what? They only offer unlimited charging on the Model S and the Model X, and people who buy those or lease those are people who already own homes who charge at home anyway. So it's like, oh, go ahead.
2020 Kia Soul, $18,900.
Yep.
You're how many thousands off on the
I'm
price
a-
of that car?
I am what
7,000 off.
7,000 off.
7,000 over budget, sir. So 18,000. So it's already less than a Tesla battery for the whole car.
Yep.
And if the engine does fail,
Yes.
we're going to go best case scenario, completely rebuilt engine that has been, and it has a warranty for the replacement engine, $3,019.
Mm.
Yeah. And I'm going to go ahead and let you know, as a person that works on cars, if you own a set of wrenches and you own a cherry picker, you can install it yourself in about 2 hours. You don't need a special shop with special machines. 2 hours and a cherry picker with some basic tools. You can get it in your car yourself.
Hey, look, I'm just saying, like, yo, look,
And if you go cheap, 2,300.
a brand new battery would cost a lot more than a refurbished one.
And the car costs how much? Double, 3 times the price. And the engine's also double. All I'm saying is,
Yeah.
I'd rather have a cheap car with a cheap failure that's cheap to fix than an expensive car with an expensive failure to fix. Anytime. This is why Toyota and Honda rule the world. They have better reliability and cheaper repairability.
Hey, which is one of the reasons why they're slow to moving towards EVs. I mean,
exactly. They're already winning. Why would they go for a losing game?
Because understand, I think sometimes when you don't have a foot in the game, you can get ran by too. So
it's not that yet. Okay, then we'll see in 20 years, sir.
That's true. That's true.
Not to mention, all of these companies you claiming don't have a foot in the game you want them to be in are all playing with alternative fuels to outrun said game.
Hey, look, I don't know about the whole alternative fuels, man, because I think that's just a stopgap in the first place.
No, it ain't.
Hey, look, Ford's rendition of going to hybrids, I think that's just a bad idea.
I probably would agree if I even knew that they had a hybrid division that mattered in the first place.
Hold on. So Jim says, let's see. He said that he found a website that replaces the battery on a Tesla for $7,000.
Show me. What is it? Send the link.
Now, here's the thing. Is it $7,000 for what? A Model 3, a Model Y, or a Model S? It depends. It really does depend on which one, because I know with the Model X, it's a 100 kilowatt battery pack. I think that's I don't think they put anything smaller than 100 kilowatts in the Model S and the X.
All I'm saying is most owners would have to get a entirely other loan to replace the battery.
Let's see. Jim says it's the standard Model 3. And the standard Model 3 is like less than 30,000, brand new.
You said brand new?
Brand new. I think it's a little bit less. It's at 30, or it's between 35 and 30.
Or when all those earlier adopters bought them, because they all got.
We're talking about a brand new. Like when they bought them, they were pushing 40.
They're the ones getting screwed. That's why.
When they bought them, when the Model 3 came out, I think they were pushing like 45.
Model 3 rear-wheel drive only, $29,000 right now.
Yep.
And you can't use the tax incentive because most people don't understand tax incentives only apply when you are already in debt that much tax. So if you don't owe $7,500 in taxes, you don't get anything from the federal government for that credit.
Now they changed it. I think they're adding it on, like they're stapling it on. I don't think that you have to claim it on your taxes. They're putting it into the price of the vehicle itself.
The car is actually $37,000. And they're showing you the price after you would file your tax return if you are already indebted that much. A Model 3 is actually $33,000 for the lowest tier, and the next year is 37,000 with long range. If you don't already owe 7,000 in taxes, you don't get anything. So if you're a guy who works somewhere and you only make like fucking 38K and you file taxes and your tax debt is $500, you get $500 for your EV purchase, not $7,500. It's a tax credit. It is not free money. It means that if you have debt in your taxes, they will pay the debt with that credit. If you don't have debt, you don't get it.
Right.
So basically, what you would have to do to even have any benefit of this is you would have to purposely like have a family of 4 and then claim 4 dependents on your taxes just so your check doesn't get the taxes taken out so you can turn around and not owe it when tax time comes. See, that's why I don't like this tax credit crap. It's BS.
You know, man, people think they're getting something for nothing, man. That's
They
all.
do. They be real upset when it comes time to file taxes. And the
They
only
go,
people who and guess what?
what?
The only people who benefit from those tax cuts are people who are extremely rich, who would actually have a $7,000 tax burden.
That's true.
How much money would you have to make to have a $7,000 tax burden? You would literally have to have not paid taxes all year on a private business that makes a little. So say you own a private business, and in that private business, after all of your markdowns from all the other things you do, like, you know, you write up all your other stuff, you would have to have a $7,000 tax debt in order for that credit to help you.
Yeah.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
That's the only way.
That's
But
why
hey,
I
look.
laugh that they do this. They're full of it. You're still going to pay $37,000 from the dealer, and then you're going to have to file taxes later. You don't actually get the car for no $30,000. That's the point I'm trying to make.
But look, but no radio. Here's the
It
problem.
doesn't weigh 7,000 pounds either. So if you own a small business, you can't write it off either.
But yo, this is something I have. This is what I have a problem with, right? Is why do we have to wait 20 years to find out if something's proven?
Because we have for everything else in history, sir.
Not
I'm sorry if you want to
necessarily.
change history. You want people to make impulsive decisions based on possibility. There's a
No.
problem with that.
I'm not saying that they have to make
Well,
something
then what is
on
your
impulse.
argument?
What I'm saying
why
is
we gotta wait 20 years? I'm telling you, because we've already done it in other tech, and that's why we can count on it. You keep thinking about this, Keon. If you were a person who was in charge of giving people financial advice, would you simply give people advice based on speculation of possible science of something lasting?
No, I would
My
not.
point exactly.
But what I'm saying is but let's say that the person out there that is looking to get ready to get into a new vehicle, and they looking at gas prices, they're tired of it, and they're like, "Yo, I'm just saying
we've already
but
proven
here's the
that
thing,
for a
brand new,
you don't save any money because of the higher cost of the EV to begin with. We've already proven it, and the higher cost of insurance outweighs the
insurance
gas
is high.
savings. It outweighs the gas savings, is what I'm saying. That's the problem. You're not saving any money. And unless you're doing Uber like Keon and you just drive to your regular job every day, you don't save any money by not buying gas and buying an EV, because a comparable car to the EV you're buying is 10 to 15 grand cheaper to begin with. You're not saving $15,000 in fuel costs. You're not. It's just not happening.
Hey, look, I know that I drive a lot, so
That's you.
I'm
most Americans. Most Americans don't even spend $1,500 a year on gas, Keon.
That much is true.
That's all I'm saying. So
my wife don't look. My wife does not come close to that.
That's my point. She drive to her job. She go to the grocery store. She might go shopping sometimes. She bring her tail home. She ain't out there riding around 300 and 400 miles a week. She's just not doing it. And we already know, even if you have a moderate performance vehicle, even today, I filled up my turbocharged Lexus. It cost me $48. That gave me 430 miles of range.
Right.
The person driving that car literally drives like 20 miles a week. You can't justify EV charging prices over gas based on regular people. You just can't do it. You're
So
not
boys and
going to
girls,
save.
so boys and girls, buy your electric car used.
But then
that way
what
you can get.
But what happens with the warranty when you buy it used?
So I can tell you, I got my car used, and the warranty carries over.
How much you got left, sir?
I got, what is it? It's a 7-year. So I'm 1 year on a 7-year, and
you're 1 year on your 7 years left.
Yes.
And what does that warranty cover?
It covers the battery pack, and the drivetrain.
So in 6 years and 11 months from now, you can go to a Tesla dealership and you get a free battery.
Yes, as long as I don't go over the miles, but you know I'm going over the miles, sir. You already know that.
That's my point. What is the miles? See, you didn't mention the miles earlier.
See
how you tried to shape it? Everybody knows
look.
that the years don't matter. It is the miles that matter.
Well, here's the thing. The reason why I say the years is because I'm not. Remember, I have to separate my driving style from other people.
But you don't separate it when you try to point out gas prices being high, do you? I have to do it for you. That's the point I'm trying to make. You're changing your measuring stick when it's convenient.
I'm not necessarily changing the measuring stick.
You go to years when it comes to warranty, but you go to gas prices when it comes to savings. You can't do both. It's one or the other.
Okay, so here's the thing. It's 120K, or was it 7 years? Yeah, 120K in 7 years.
You got right now?
I'm at 41,000.
What do you project you'll hit your 120K?
I will hit the 120K in about 3.5 years
So
at the pace I'm going.
The reality is this: unless your battery lasts you or doesn't have a significant amount of charge capacity drop off by the time you hit that mileage,
yes,
will you have actually saved money by the time you replace that battery?
Probably not.
That is my point. That's all I'm saying.
But here's the thing. I felt the same exact way with my Highlander too.
I understand that because your Highlander was halfway into the hole you're also in now. You're all the way in the hole now. Your Highlander was halfway there. You see?
Oh man!
Guess what? The Highlander is still a cheaper repair.
True.
And I can personally drive about 25 minutes and get you a battery for your Highlander same day and install it myself. And it won't cost me more than about $3,000 to $4,000.
Rita John. I think Rita John is making fun of me, not you. He says, bless his heart.
Hey,
I think he's making fun of me.
I'm just saying. I say this because I know people who work at a factory that refurbishes the Toyota batteries, and that factory is literally 25 minutes from here. I can get a brand new rebuilt Prius battery for like $2,300.
Yes, Jim, I do. Yes, Jim, I do use a Tesla as doing Uber.
See, Jim. He gonna run through that. He gonna run through the miles long before those years. And when the repair bill comes, he will be able to buy a Toyota Corolla cheaper than the battery in that daggone Tesla.
Mm.
And there lies the problem.
I just think that, sometimes, look, I'm just saying that if people's hangups are how much the battery is going to be and the prices of batteries have come down, then that $20,000 mantra has to change. I mean,
you can change it, but guess what? We need it below 5,000. Period. Meaning this, Keon. When something is to replace another thing, it needs to be better or comparable. Until it's below 5,000, it is neither better nor comparable. That is the problem. And you keep wanting to ignore that because you want to run with technology so bad when you're not realizing that the world we live in, people don't change their lives for worse things. They will at minimum change for equal or go to better. That is literally the reason why Honda and Toyota took over the entire U.S. car market. They were making better mile per gallon, lower cost, more reliable vehicles. All three categories.
That's
They
true.
were doing all three. They didn't show up and go, we only got better reliability. They didn't do that. They didn't show up and go, we only get more miles per gallon. They didn't do that. They didn't show up and go, we only have better costs. They did all of it. That's how they won. You cannot win an entire market with one thing being better, being I don't have to buy gas. And then we turn around and go, yeah, but your insurance went up as much as you were spending on gas. Doesn't make sense.
True.
If your insurance increased as much as you were buying gas, you didn't win. You just feel better. You aren't doing better. You're basically deciding to, hey, if I'm gonna be screwed, I'm gonna be screwed on my own terms. That's what you're actually doing.
That's true. That's true.
You're not unscrewing yourself. You're just choosing how you're screwed. That's all you're doing. And that's the problem. So I just said it myself. When Tesla gives a 20-year warranty, if they do it by the time I'm ready to buy another car, I will shake your hand and buy a Tesla or an EV that has a comparable warranty if they came out and made that promise. I would do it.
Hey, Jim, look, Jim says that he said, bro, I'm not buying a Tesla Model X to drive for Uber. I'm buying a Ford Expedition. All right.
There you go.
Hey,
you know why? Because the worst expensive part he'll ever have to replace is $2,800.
Hey, man.
I know. You know how I know? Because I have an Explorer and I have had Expeditions and I work on my own things, which I would not be able to do with the Tesla, by the way.
I mean, you can still change your tires, do the brakes if you really need to.
Keon, if you count that as working on your car, you don't know what working on your car is.
Hey, look, I the only reason why I didn't change my own oil because I have nowhere to dispose of it at. And look, I'm not going to pour it down the drain.
I have never paid someone to change the oil on any car I've ever owned. As a matter of fact, ever, never happened. Has never happened. Ever. My wife has. I have never. Motorcycle, lawnmowers, cars, trucks, didn't matter. I have never paid someone to change my oil in my entire life.
Well, hey, look, you know, it does hurt sometimes to live at the bleeding edge of technology, man.
That's my point. You're sacrificing. You're not winning. That's two different things.
But hey, look, you know, as new information comes out, man, I want to at least try to float it past you again. Hey, I know you get mad at me about it.
So let's see here. I got about 2 years left before I'm going to be buying a brand new vehicle. Tesla comes out with a 20-year warranty. Or I don't like Teslas though. They got to what the cars. The cars.
I wouldn't recommend you buying a Tesla in the first place.
I need an EV company to give me a 20-year warranty. And
how many miles do you have on your Explorer?
140,000. With only thing ever being changed is tires, brake pads, and spark plugs.
Okay, so
for a grand total maintenance cost. Wait a minute, let me give you the cost. The grand total maintenance cost for the life of that vehicle is not even $1,600.
Okay, so with that being said, if there was an automotive company, when they say not Tesla or whatever, it's just an automotive company selling an electric vehicle, right? That warranty the battery for $100K,
no,
and you've had the Explorer for like 10 years, right?
I want actual 20 years. I don't want mileage limits.
No, you know that's not happening, man. You know they're not doing that. Don't say something you know they're never gonna do.
Hey, you the one bought up 20 years lasting battery, not me. That was you.
No. I brought it up because
okay, then I'll tell you what.
I brought it up because they're saying that they're seeing.
Here you go. It's gonna have to be 150K warranty.
Oh,
and the car is gonna have to be the same or less than the gasoline alternative in price.
Oh, see you put it just outside of.
You know why? Because there is still a $20,000 to $15,000 to $10,000 possible battery cost lingering in the woods behind the 100K. So I want to tell you this, right? When I bought my Explorer, I'm the second owner. I bought it with only 10,000 miles on it. Okay,
right.
I only paid the full price of that vehicle When the first person bought it, they paid like $37,000. I paid $22,000.
Thank you, Rita John. You'll never see a warranty like that.
20 is my point. I only paid $22,000, and that was including an extended warranty that got me over 100,000 miles on the warranty. Okay. And I have yet to spend $1,600 in all these years. So I have effectively put what, 100? I put 100 and freaking 30 something thousand on that car and spent 1,600. If Tesla only gives me 100,000 miles, and then as soon as that's passed, I am lingering on a $10,000 repair bill, I didn't win.
But see, you're assuming that you're going to be lingering with a $10,000 repair bill.
No, because once the warranty is up, you are lingering with the repair bill.
You are. And are you not lingering right now where your vehicle's not warranted?
But my vehicle's out of warranty, Keon. But I can literally replace anything on that car, and the most I will ever pay is $3,000. Period. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Look,
that's why I told you EV batteries have to be $5,000 or cheaper. Period. I'm not saying you can't do EVs. I'm saying they're never a better deal until they're the same or less to own and maintain. That is it. That's all I'm saying.
Right. No.
If somebody came out tomorrow and said, hey, we got these new cell phones. Yeah, what's up with them new cell phones? All right, so check this out. Look, when you charge these, it costs you less to charge them. But if the battery fails, it costs 50% to replace the battery, or you can get the phone that costs a little more to charge, but the battery lasts you a whole 7 years.
Hey, look, I'm looking at more of the everyday user, because
everyday user is even worse than me because they can't fix their own stuff.
Right, but guess what?
So they're even worse.
100K warranty in 7 years. They're gonna trade it in before then.
The Toyota. No, I just told you the majority of buyers are poor people, sir. There's more poor people than there are rich people. The poor people are the ones buying the traded-in vehicles from the rich people, sir.
Hey, look, I got my car, and I added a warranty on top of the factory warranty already.
Even dealerships will tell you that all the money in car sales are in the used market, not the new market. Dealerships make their bread and butter in the used market, not the new.
Hey, so Jim,
those people trading in their cars are creating the used market.
Hey, Jim, hey, look, man, this might seem boring to you, but for me personally, I think that a lot of people ask me that same question when I'm driving Uber. Hey, is it worth it? Is it worth it? And I tell them, I say, it depends on how much you drive. If you're just area,
no,
it does
for you. They're asking you about your life, sir.
I am an abnormal person. I know that my driving habits are abnormal.
The answer is no. It's not worth it in your use case. And you won't care until you have to actually pay the piper.
Pay for that battery.
Yeah, you won't care until you have to actually do it, and then you'll feel some type of way.
Hey,
the next 5 years going, them prices are coming down, and when that day comes, you can be like, damn.
Hey, no radio. Isn't it on that note? Remember what I always say? That's what future Edmund's problem.
See, there you go. You just proved my point. Future Edmund got to put up with current Edmund's decision. Future Edmund is not going to be happy.
Future Edmund's going to have to deal with that problem.
That's just like the kid that chooses not to use a condom.
Oh.
Future him going to have to put up with that child and that child support.
Man. Hey, No Radio, thank you for stopping by, sir.
Yes,
hey, look, I don't mean to troll you. You exist on the opposite ends of this spectrum.
I'm just here to have fun, man, and talk junk. That's what we do. It's all fun. Edmund's my dog, and I give him hell. If anybody's an EV lover and you feel offended, you should be. And and look, as you feel offended, I'm just being real. You know who don't feel offended? I said the same thing about people with cars, right? Before you go, I've said the same thing with cars, right? People who buy Land Rovers have to know those cars are not reliable.
Yeah.
You don't see Land Rover owners trying to prove why everybody should buy a Land Rover.
No.
EVs are in the same place as we speak. They are not proven to be reliable. They are not proven to be actually cheaper when you calculate the additional cost that you don't see. They're not proven. So anyone who is buying them, you're buying them because you want them, not because they're a better financial decision. And as long as everybody understands that, that's all that matters. You want to Land Rover, buy it, it's going to break in 2 years. Good luck.
I think as you have more EVs on the market, then the pricing of like the insurance goes down, which starts equaling out the cost of actually owning one.
You get to be one of the people who sacrifice themselves so someone else might reap those benefits.
Hey,
everybody else, don't buy it now. Let Edmund and other Edmonds around the world continue to sacrifice themselves. So maybe you may one day have an EV that is a comparable purchase to a non-EV. Go ahead.
Let me go out here and suffer for you.
There you go. Yep. We'll put him
on man.
Like Jesus. He can go, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do.
You gonna crucify me to my battery?
Oh, Tesla
I give up the ghost.
Tesla Christ. That's your new name. Tesla Jesus. Correct.
Oh man.
Jesus, praise him.
Oh, Tesla Jesus.
Yep, that's your new name.
Yo, bro, I'm using it as a show title. Oh Lord, Tesla Jesus.
Next week, Jesus. There we go. It has been decided.
Oh man, yo, No Radio, thank you for stopping by, sir. I'm gonna convince you one day, man. I don't know what day it's gonna happen.
I already told you when. You don't gotta convince me. I don't care about you convincing me. When it's the better option, everybody will buy it, and I will recommend it. Until then, no sir. No, sir. People are paying more.
Reader John says, drill, baby, drill.
People are paying more for insurance on Teslas than I do for 4 cars with full coverage, comp and collision, and a motorcycle. People are paying more than that for a single Tesla. Facts.
Dang, man.
That's the facts.
That's true.
It is what it is. 4 vehicles plus, so that's 5 vehicles, full comp and collision is cheaper than insurance on a Tesla.
Hey, look. So as Tesla Jesus said, man, I need my disciples to come out and help me. We got to spread the good word.
You better get out there and walk on lithium then. Get out there and walk on that lithium, boy.
And Judas is over there drinking gasoline.
Yeah, Judas is definitely drinking gasoline and talking to Mobile and Castro about you.
Shave. Sir, thank you, man. Hey, people, if you like more antics, please like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Leave your comments below. Thank you for Jim and Reader John for sticking around. Y'all made the commentary even funnier. Thank y'all. That was hilarious for me. But I'm still stuck on my EV until I either, crash out or Christ out. One of the two is gonna happen. But thank y'all. No Radio. Wait. Are you advertising your album now, sir?
A little bit, but not really. It's coming. It ain't done.
It's coming.
It's coming.
Let me know. Let me know when you officially doing it, man.
I got like 2 more records to do, and I'm done.
2 more?
2 more, and I'm done. I did one last night.
Oh man.
Yes, sir.
Yo, stay tuned for the No Radio dance party.
I don't know about no dance party. By dance, you mean the bedroom?
There you go. That too.
Your old lady will appreciate it. Yes, your grandma. But yeah.
But hey, sir, thank you for stopping by, everyone. Thank y'all for stopping by, and we are out.